Welcome to Talking to Yourself, where each week we ask, how well do you know you? Each week, different topic. We discuss that topic, analyze our history, figure out what makes us tick, and then at the end of each episode, we give the best possible advice that we can to our younger selves. This week I have Scott on. What's up, Scott?
I am doing good, Will. How you doing, man?
I'm fucking fantastic. So
Love to hear that.
I feel like I've hung out with you a bunch of times, done a bunch of podcasts with you, but I have no idea who you are. Tell me,
really?
like, where are you from? How old are you? Like, what do you do? All those things.
All the stuff I don't like to talk about.
All the stuff you don't like to talk about.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm from California originally. I've been in Las Vegas for 4.5 years now. That's only two places I've ever lived. I lived in different parts of California, Southern California. One, I lived kind of like 45 miles outside of Los Angeles, basically. So like the suburbs, I guess you could say. Didn't really go to LA all too much unless like as a kid we're going to like visit my grandma or something like that. Grandma and grandpa lived out there. Or going to the beach or stuff like that. But normally I don't like going out there because I don't like I don't like to be in the car. I used to get car sick as a kid. So even going 10 minutes to church, it got me sick, you know?
Right.
And then like my dad's rule was like, well, we don't have AC in the van, so we're just going to we go 2 and 40. And I said, what does that mean? We put two windows down, we go 40 miles an hour. That was our AC unit.
I love
system.
it.
So I've thrown up in the car, maybe not hundreds of times, but dozens probably for sure. Like every time we go to, so I grew up going to Boy Scouts and stuff like that as a kid. I did attain the highest level, which is Eagle Scout at 14 years old, which was really impressive because like I was like top troop, what they call it, like a top scout out of at the time it was like 300 people, like 300 students or kids, whatever.
So you can tie knots and survive.
I was an overachiever, yeah. And I just wanted to be done with it. You know, you give me a task, it's like, oh, you have until you're 18 to do it, or 17. You know, you can't be 18, but right before you hit 18, you have to finish it. But anyway, like we used to always go to scout camp like a couple times a year, or different for those that know, scout camp was like once a year usually, and then you had like a father and son, they called it, where you go up and do like stuff like that, like scout kind of stuff with like your dad or whatever.
So from what I know about you now, like you're incredibly disciplined. You think a lot of that discipline has come from the scouts?
Yeah, because like the first rule is be prepared. That's the motto. Be prepared for everything. You know, just be prepared. You know, and also then the second thing is, well, being trustworthy, being loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, thrifty, cheerful, clean, reverent, and that's basically like part of the scout law, they call it. So yeah, definitely a lot of that stuff has impacted me for sure. I can't say it hasn't, you know, because that's what I grew up with and stuff. Because you start scouts when you're like 8 years old. But I remember you selling light bulbs, going around door to door selling light bulbs. When you can sell a light bulb for like $6, dude. This is, you know, this has been in 92 or 94 or some year like that, you know. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I think I might have only been 6 selling the light bulbs. I don't know if I was actually a scout yet.
So Cali Scouts, you've been in Vegas for a few years. What do you do now?
Yeah. Well, as far as a career, I'm a vascular procedure technician under ultrasound. So I assist in doctors in diagnosing arterial disease, vein disease. That's pretty much it. And then, you know, the specialties within that, and also assist in certain surgeries and whatever they need ultrasound guidance, I'm there for them. So that's kind of what I do now. I've been doing that for like 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Went right to college for that. Well, I got an associate's degree. It took me like 4.5 years. Really only should have taken me 3, but like the last 2 classes I couldn't do back to back, so I had to like do them sequentially. So that took like an extra year. But I was basically already done at 3 years, whatever. I mean, I was working at a job called I'll just call it Fun Time. It had another name to it, but I hope they're out of business because the guy's a douchebag. But anyway, the guy owes me like $2,500, and I'm like, yeah, because he was mad I quit. You know, I mean, that's a whole story though. But basically, yeah, it was basically the balloon jumpers. You know, the balloon jumpers, the trains. I like go to like little fairs, little street fairs, take tickets and stuff like that for the kids. That's what I was doing like at 17. That's when I started working.
I love it.
But it was a good experience because I learned how to drive like a truck. Like a big budget truck with like a 30-foot trailer with like a train on it. I had to load and you had to do everything yourself. He's like, yeah, you got to do it all yourself because he was too cheap. You know, he's not going to pay 2 people.
That's crazy. I'm 36 now and I still don't know how to drive. Yeah, like I just got my learner's permit last year.
Well, I'm glad I know that. I'm not going to get in a car with you.
Well, no, being born and raised in Brooklyn, like I either walked everywhere or took train, public transportation. Now I've been in Vegas for a minute. and I don't live downtown anymore. It's like, well, things are getting a little more
Yeah.
difficult for me.
Well, it
to
makes
get
sense because
yeah.
actually, my friend, he lived in New York for 8 years, and when he moved there, he actually sold his car.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, just forget it.
No need.
He didn't need a car for 8 years. He was out there. So.
And so you chose today's topic, addiction. Specifically for you is addiction to gaming.
Yeah.
Or previously, I have somewhat of an addiction to gaming too, and actually turns out when I'm thinking about it, like I have a fucking, or at least growing up, I have a super addictive personality. It's 0 or 100 and like nothing ever in between. Up until I really started to get a sense of like who I was and build better habits and reflect more about like who I am and what makes me tick. So like what was your experience when it comes to gaming?
Well, like as I was like thinking about this, I was like, how far does it actually go back? And it goes back to when I was like probably like 10 or something like that. I just remember coming home from elementary school, or actually no, not elementary school. Well, yeah, I can't actually remember that far elementary school, but I'm pretty sure I was playing games. You know, I've like, well, I don't have that many memories from like the elementary school part, but I just remember being like, oh, we got to go to karate practice. I'm like, no, I got to save it. I got to finish this game. I was playing this game called Uniracers, which is like you have a unicycle and you're like racing. But anyway, like to like complete the level, you have to complete 5 levels. Right. In other words, like if you only do 4, like it doesn't count. Like you have to beat 5 and then it like saves. So if you only beat 4 and you have to beat the computer, so it's like it's hard. So I just remember like, oh no, I gotta stay here and beat this thing. And like I guess I had a bad sense of time then because it's like hey 7 p.m. we gotta go to karate. Like it should have been like it wasn't a secret, you know. But like apparently I didn't know because my mom was like, you gotta go, let's go, and I'm like trying to finish up this game, and I know like when I say it's addiction, I'd say it's kind of bad because I remember getting like really pissed off if I didn't get to like finish it. You know, one because I'm putting in all this work, but it really is just a game. But it's like then it came to a point where like I had to have this game or any game or whatever. So that's where I don't know if I'll say I got my happiness from it, but it was definitely like something I like to do. You know, because also at that age too, I would also at 10 years old I was also skateboarding 8 hours a day. So I wasn't like fully into the games like at that age quite yet. I think it was more like when I started hitting like 8th grade, 9th grade. That's when I was like more so addicted to games.
Right. I remember for me specifically, I like growing up, I didn't have a lot of access to video games. Like it was like sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. Like I had a Sega for a short while.
That's why you didn't have a great system.
Right. I had, and then I at one point I had a Game Boy Color, and so I think that's when I really started to put hours in. Yeah. Like Pokemon Red and Blue.
Oh wow.
First week I got it 20 hours in, and that's like crazy. This is like during school time, you know. So like, where am I? This is school homework. Where am I finding the hours to put this much time on this game? That's like how it started for me. And it kind of like just completely dissipated after that because I had no access to games anymore. Yeah. Like either like I would go to my friend's house and watch them play and never really participate. But that's about it up until my early 20s when it became available to me again. What was your like what was your worst struggle with it?
Well, I don't know if it was. I didn't even see it as a struggle though.
Right.
Not till later. I guess till later I'm like, man, I just wasted like 5 months went by and I felt like I didn't do anything with my life, even though like I was doing stuff. Like I remember like still being into the game. I already had like a great job. I already had a career. I was already doing ultrasound and stuff. I was still playing the game, but it's like months would go by and it's like I didn't like achieve things that I wanted to like say with my body. Like I wasn't exercising. I wasn't doing stuff like that. So I was getting like a lazy slob in my mind.
Paint the portrait for me. Like what was your schedule like? What game were you playing? How long were you playing it for? Like, you know, like you said you were going to school, you had a job. Like what was that? What was your schedule?
Well, like at that time, like I had everything quote unquote going for me because I already finished a career. I was already in a career and I had my own place already. But like, you know, I'd want to come back and play 2-3 hours of whatever. That time it was like a lot of League of Legends, I think, a little bit. But I would always rotate through games like Blizzard games, like StarCraft and maybe Diablo 2. But Diablo 2, like I used to play that, like rolling back a bit, like the high school. My brother would wake me up at like 1 a.m. when he got off. Because I had a brother that's 3 years older than me, so like, and it was his computer. He ended up getting a laptop when he graduated. So like, when he got like this computer, and he'd wake me up at like 1 a.m. like, hey, I'm done with the computer. So like, I'd be up at 6 a.m. to church in the morning for an hour. So I had to be there at 6:20. So it's like I'm waking up at like 5:56 anyway. So he's waking me up at 1 a.m. to get me the computer so I can go play. And sometimes so I'd be like sit there playing at you and level up like our character in Diablo 2. We run something called a cow level, where we're going to just kill a bunch of cows. And then like I was like a runner, meaning like I was hosting my own stuff. So
Right.
like people would be joining me, and like you do the next game, you just add a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do like 20 games in a row or whatever. But I would do all the work to like, 'cause you have to get like this Wirt's leg, and like you have to get like these items, and then like create the portal to like go to the cow level. So like, but I'm just saying like that would like I'd be playing that and I'd play that for like an hour, and then like they just screw up my sleep. So then like and then I get to this class and I'd fall asleep in this church class, which was like my neighbor was teaching it like 2 houses down. So she's like, my mom and her, they're buddies.
Concerns.
So, oh yeah, they're gonna know. There's no secret there. Like, why is Scott falling asleep with this? Oh, and then like my mom would get mad, and then.
And you're playing a game called. Oh no, were you playing Diablo at
That
the
was
time?
Diablo 2. Yeah.
I love it. You were falling asleep during church class because you were playing a game named Diablo.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know, right? I didn't see that. That's funny.
It's a fucking devil made you do it,
Yeah.
bro.
And then the thing is like, I would just play that at night too. I'd just keep playing that game. I had mastered that game. Like any item that dropped, I knew like what it was. I knew the possible stats it could be. I knew if it was unique, rare, all that. Like I knew the names of it. A lot of useless data, or data that I have. At the time it wasn't useless. So.
And so, like, I mean, you were a high-ranked player. Like, if you had to compare yourself,
well, I became that eventually. Yeah.
Because of that dedication, because of that amount of time that you put into it.
Yeah, but I cheated though at the end because what I mean by cheated, like I was just smart to like stuff. So like this guy one time gave me a password to like help him do stuff, and then like we were friends for a little bit. And then like he removed me from his friends list. So like it would just say, oh, so and so is in a private game. If we were on the same friends list, then it would say mutual and tell me the game name you're in. But if you deleted me from yours, but you're on my list, it'll just say, hey, Will's in a private game. But like one time I remember he gave me a name and a password. It was like Tim 22 past 22 or something. So I like joined that game and like had all the godly items. Like what the? It was like that was like so it's like after 3 years of playing or whatever, I finally got like the jackpot. Maybe it wasn't 3 years. It just seemed like a long time. But
Was this a system or PC?
It was PC. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, you do something in this game. You do something called mule because your character you can have like 8 characters per account.
Okay.
But it's like if you want to give an item to another character, then you'd have to drop the items on the ground and then like leave real quick and rejoin. You have like 60 seconds to do it, or like or the server game is gone.
The server game is gone. Can someone else pick it up who's on that server?
Well, it's password protected. So so if you knew the password, you could get in it though. So the guy was in there and he was what we call AFK, away from keyboard. So his character was there. I was like, what? And I just come with 2 characters, 3 characters, picked up all this stuff. And this guy was like duping it. He had a dupe hack for sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because this is like hacked items stuff. But once I had that, then I was the most godliest in that game. So he was, but I just took his stuff and then
And so, like, did this like disrupt your life? Like, when it comes to like
disrupt my life because forget having even a relationship, dude. Like, I mean, I'm talking when I was like 14, 15 years old. So yeah, there was no girls in my life. Plus, I wasn't allowed to date anyway. We were only allowed to go on double dates. So like every now and then, I tried to sneak off with this girl, but I like convinced my dad to take me there. And then I was like, oh, I didn't want to explain anything. He's like, what do you mean it's a girl's house? And I was like, forget it.
Yeah, it wasn't like what's your name, what's your age, what's your signs, but like what's your character build.
No, well, I hadn't talked to games with the girls. You know what I mean? I was just trying to mac on them, but it's just. Yeah, they didn't want to talk about. I don't know. I didn't talk to them about games though. For sure, I didn't. I wasn't like no player or whatever. I didn't have like the skill to talk to women really. You know what I mean? But like I had a few girls that I talked to and whatever, and like did little innocent stuff with PG stuff whatever. And then, but yeah, that's like it affected my life because now I'm not doing good in geometry. This is like 10th grade. I wasn't doing good in geometry. I was doing terrible. I had like a D in that class. That was like my lowest grade ever or whatever. And then. But then I'm like sleeping in first period, so my government teacher's calling home. So I'm not just sleeping in the church class; I'm sleeping in the next class too.
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely taking away from your education. Yeah. It's giving you problems at home.
Exactly. It's not optimal. It's like the advice I would give back then is like, I don't even know because how would I convince myself?
Was it addiction, or were you just like a kid who wants to play games, and that was like a little phase?
It was just too much. So it's like, hey, you like TV? Let's watch it 8 hours. No. See, I guess I was kind of always obsessed because like. I skateboarded from like 10 to like 11. I didn't really skateboard that much. And then when I was like 12, 13, and then it's like, oh, everyone's trying to skateboard. And I was like, oh, now you all trying to skateboard? And then I started skating again a little bit because I was actually really good. I was doing like 6 stairs alling when I was 10 years old. I was kickflipping 4 stairs and stuff like that, a 360 flip. And like I could do switch varials and all that if you know about skateboarding. So I was like, I was pretty good at stuff like as a kid. So I got like a lot of respect already. And like, so like I already like in my mind I already been there, done that. Because I was skateboarding 8 hours a day at one point.
Yeah.
So I get obsessed with what I'm doing.
Yeah, like I said, it's like 0 or 100. Like I either don't want to do it at all, right, or I want to give like everything I have into it. Like I had learned how to juggle when I was in 7th grade for gym class, right? My gym teacher taught. It's like we had like a point system where you had a bunch of things that you can do to make your grade. So like juggling was learning how to juggle
Oh, I see.
was worth 10 points. Like hitting 5 free throws was worth 5 points. You know, like running half a mile would be this points, right? And so I learned how to juggle, and that was that for a really long time for the majority of my for up until my 20s.
So you kept with it. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a cool little trick I can do every once in a while. But once I figured out there was like so much more than the regular 3 ball cascade, and that you can like do patterns and like overthrows and underthrows and fucking columns and like this whole different world. Not all of a sudden I'm juggling 3 hours a day, and um, taking it back to games, when I didn't have in high school, early 20s, didn't really have access to a lot of games. When the iPhone dropped, right, and when I can finally afford one, which was like the 3G. Yeah. Now I had video games in my pocket, right? And you had leaderboards. So now I'm like playing all these games, and I'm like and now
you got addicted to the phone games. That's funny.
The phone games, right? But then you have to think of it like this, where it's like this is like when all of a sudden like just standing in public, not doing anything, was like taboo. Like, what do you like? Why aren't you looking at your phone? How are you just sitting there at a table? You know, like eating your food alone. Like every time you have like a moment where you're not doing anything in public, it's weird to just stand around. Like you have to have your phone out to seem like you're not like suspicious of anything.
Right? I know what you're talking about.
So like every moment you have downtime, all of a sudden you're going to your phone. You're either doom scrolling social media, or like me, I was fucking playing fucking games, right? And I got fucking good at these games. And fucking Apple told me I was fucking top 5% in the world in all the games that I was playing.
That's
like,
just gonna feed your ego big time.
And I'm trying to get better, hit higher scores. And so it's like every moment that I had free at this point, I was dedicating to getting better at these games. And there was like dozens upon dozens of games. Like it wasn't just one. It was just like, oh, this is the new trendy game. Let me get out here and show everybody who the fuck I am. And it was detrimental.
Yeah, I can see that. That's funny.
Because it's like now it's like not just being home anymore, right?
Well, now you're taking it with you.
Now you're taking it with you, you know. So, you know, sometimes it's like you can be at you can just be at an event with friends, and you find yourself like just not like I don't think I would like excuse myself to go, but like if like wasn't having a good time, I just pull my phone and play some games.
Yeah, were you bored for a second? Yeah, no, I get it. So I think like when it became a problem is like when I stopped playing hockey and when I stopped doing other things, because like it was so ingrained in my life in video games. So like it's all blended in. It's like all the life, you know. It's all part of it, you know. But I think it's when I stopped like doing outdoor stuff. Like at 15 is when I stopped playing hockey, and that's when I stopped playing hockey. I stopped doing wrestling. I stopped doing football. Stuff. It was nothing. You know what I mean? That's when it became a problem. And that's like now I'm not doing any exercise or nothing. Right. No physical activity. I'm just sitting on a computer or whatever. And maybe every now and then I would do stuff. Like I wasn't afraid to like not do something or whatever. And I might have skated every like in between every now and then I'm bored or whatever. Like because I remember like saying like, oh my gosh, what game? Like it's like I was addicted to games and I was like, okay, there's 30 games here. Which one do I want to play? Like it's like I didn't even want to play a game, but it's just like I was just so addicted, I guess. Apparently, so I'm like, okay, well I know if I put this game in, I'll at least like playing it, so I'll put it in. And then like sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. And I remember putting the game like if I'm not happy in 5-10 minutes or whatever mood I'm thinking, then I'm like I'm just bored of this. I take
not
it out.
Getting the right rush.
Yeah, it's like I didn't get the right rush or whatever. Because like I already beat this game so many times, you know. Because like because I didn't like have phone games until like way later. So I never really got like too much into phone games. I mean, they had like Snake or something like that for like the Razor.
The Nokia.
Yeah, like the Nokia, like those. That was like a real quick, like that was not really like competitive or whatever.
Not at all.
Not like what you're talking about. Yeah, luckily I didn't like have. Because I would look down on those games. To be honest, I'd be like, oh, I got a computer. Like, yeah, I can play any game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I didn't really because I didn't get a phone till later anyway.
There's definitely I don't want to say a snobbery, but like an elitism when it comes to PC gaming.
Oh like... yeah, no, because I stopped playing the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do I need PlayStation 2 for? Like I got everything on the PC. And then like when PS3 came out, I was not excited to buy it at all.
One thing that was actually an advantage toward me, like loving to play games and getting better at things that I do, I think what we look for is like that positive reinforcement. Right, it's like when you pick up a new hobby or a new skill, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so you get like these little rushes of like the dopamine, like oh shit, I just got better at this, and it makes you feel like you can do anything, right? And because you can see these gradual increases in improvement, right?
Yeah.
And so in gaming, right, I think it's similar, where
very
it's
similar.
like, you know, you're trying to play this level, it's hard, and you finally beat it, right? Um, one way I think I had it kind of benefited me was my neighbor across the hall, Alex, his older brother. I was 15. His older brother was 21. He was going to school for like computer engineering or something, and so um, I would hang out with all of them, and it was like he was like became a really big positive adult role model in my life, and he gave me this typing game.
Typing tutor.
Yeah, it was just like a typing game, and it's just like
yeah.
And so like it was like there were like little mini games that taught you how to type, and I would go home and spend like 2 or 3 hours a night on it, and then that's how I learned how to type. Was like this game, like me trying to get better at this game.
So my dad had a program called Typing Tutor, and I wonder if it was the same. You know, it's for like Windows 3.1, and it's like you had like a blue screen, but like so I was like super good at typing at like 7, 8 years old, and then like when it came to anyway, but I do remember that a program like that. It's like a game, so I got super good at typing, and then like in school, it's like I already knew how to type. It was like plus playing the games like got me good. And I was always like to play online games and like competitive games. Like StarCraft is like your real time strategy against other groups of people or teams of people, or Counter Strike. And it's like you get better. Like next thing you know, you're killing like you get like 10 kills a game and stuff. And then like you're getting all amped up, and then you're getting like that peer like, oh wow, this guy's good. You know. So like that's also what makes it addictive too, because you're getting like people that like you're getting clout build up. Like not just single player games where it's like okay. You know, you beat the game, you're kind of usually just done. Even though I played like games like 99 hours, I clocked in the game like multiple times.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so like on the single player games, like I was like a completionist kind of guy. There's actually a guy on YouTube that does something.
I love
like
the completionist.
Yeah, you know, he's like, I'm gonna beat the game from zero. Like I don't know if like I haven't seen all of his stuff, but like it's like that's be like I'm gonna complete every single secret, every single thing. But also I didn't like to cheat in the game. Like Diablo 2, I said like I cheated, but it's because like I found the items kind of. So like in my mind, it wasn't like really cheating, but like I wouldn't like use cheat codes though.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I always wanted to beat it. Like there's this level. It was level 6 on Warcraft 1. It was human, and you didn't start out with your peasants, and you had to go like rescue them to be able to get minerals. So you only had a limited amount of guys. So I didn't know how to micro the guys. So that level took me like 6 months, maybe longer. I don't know, a long time to beat. But I never wanted to cheat to see the next level. And then until I finally figured out the strategy how to like do it.
That's so like, but like playing against other people, like actual like real people online, you had no problem cheating. Is that what it is?
I was more trolling if I was gonna cheat, but I was actually usually really good. But like I did have like a map hack one time, and like I messed around with cheats and stuff until I got banned on a few times. So like I just wasn't worth it.
Do you remember like your first system, the first game you ever played?
Yeah, it was a regular Nintendo, and it might have been Mario. Super Mario Brothers 1. I don't even know if they called it Super Mario Brothers or just Mario Brothers 1.
I think Super Mario Brothers.
It might have been Super Mario Brothers, yeah.
So like I told you, I had a Sega like when I was like 5 or 6 or something, and then we didn't have it anymore. Moved to where my mom currently lives, still 42nd Street in Brooklyn, and like our third day living there, our next door neighbor, Griselle, she brought her son over. And she was like, "Hey, you have a son. I have a son. They're both 7 years old. Can your son come and play?" And so like like literally like played Mario, right? And me and like he's currently my brother. Like he just lives 20 minutes away from here. Like he moved here because I moved here and was doing well.
Oh, cool.
So and our moms still live next door to one another in New York, and we bonded over playing games. And so like that it graduated or like evolved from it went from like Nintendo to PlayStation, right? It was like always at his apartment. Like he always had the systems, and like we would play Resident Evil, and like we would play
like allowed to play that
game. And like he would control the sticks and shoot the zombies and the monsters, and I would solve the puzzles. And so like like 95% of that game that he played, and that's something that just ended up like sticking with me for a long time. Like I ended up befriending a lot of gamers, and I would just go and watch like these people who are like actually like really good at these games, because I admire like it doesn't matter what it is, right? I love watching people do things really well.
Yeah, the uber best, the uber elite.
Yeah. Like my one friend, he was in high school. He was like number one in the world
Oh wow,
for this one song on DJ Hero.
that's wow, that's impressive though.
And I remember like kind of like tripping like LSD in his apartment, and this dude is just like he's like tall, lanky, long dreads, and he's playing DJ Hero, and I'm tripping. And like dude, it was just like I mean I don't know, I just get a kick out of things like that sometimes.
No, I mean I'll still go and watch speed runs and stuff, and then like there's another game I played a lot called Super Metroid, and like the
Super
guy
Metroid.
that's like super good right now, like the number one guy, like he's been playing for like 11 years straight though, like every
Right.
day though, like every day, like that's why he's super good, and, like insane, like insanely good. But and like people are like, oh, how should someone start speed running Metroid? He's like, just don't do it, man. It's just a waste of time. Like, well, he's like I did it, but like he's like I would not recommend it.
Right.
It's just it's too specialized, and it takes so much time, like to get at that level he's at, like it's.
If you like Super Mario Brothers, right? Though I bought a Nintendo Switch for the sole purpose of buying Super Mario Maker 2. Are you familiar?
I think I have heard the game. Yeah.
So you can build your own Mario levels.
Right. Right.
And like
Yeah, I've seen that.
they have 1, they have 2, they have 3, they have a new soup, they have Mario 3D, all these themes, all these enemies and items, and I spent maybe like 300 hours, 200 hours just building and playing levels. Like I like making hard Mario levels, and it's like almost like I think it's like adult. It's a lot of time, right? Spent
Yeah.
right over the course of a couple of years, right? But for me, it's almost like adult Legos, right? Because you like you're like building stuff and you're trying to like make it hard and you're trying to beat it yourself. In order to upload a level online for other people to play,
Uh-huh.
you have to beat it from beginning to end without dying. Then you have to beat it from each checkpoint if you have checkpoints. So you're trying to prove to
Yeah,
Nintendo
that makes sense though.
that it's actually beatable.
Yeah, because sometimes you might have a running start at a certain checkpoint or something if the checkpoint's on a small platform, but like to get there you ran and jumped.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start there, hey, you still gotta be able to beat it. So I like that criteria.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and I love the game.
I love creating games too though. Like Warcraft 2, you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Basically create your own maps or whatever. It wasn't like as detailed as what you're like how Mario would be, but like you can create your own maps. You can start off with like a wall or whatever.
Right.
Like you can have an ally. You can set like I always like having an ally. I always want like once a computer I can make it my ally. I was like, oh, that was like the coolest thing ever. Cause then I could kill them, but they wouldn't attack back, and like they'd fight for me. But yeah, I remember having that. That was so cool.
I read this. I was like, for me, it's like I think it's about like time spent, right? Like you were saying, like you spending all this time on it started to like affect your studies, maybe like external relationships because you're spending a lot of time inside. A lot of your hobbies are starting to suffer from it or just being like neglected
Right.
fully,
Exactly.
right? And I think of it like, yeah, that's definitely a problem. But like, I like to like put numbers on things, right? Like if we spend a lot of people say we don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. But then if you really break down like what you spend your time on, I feel like you can make time for things,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah.
if you're like you don't have time, but like you're on check your screen time on Google or on Apple,
I know,
right?
it's
Like
crazy,
you're spending 3 hours, 4 hours on social media a week more, right? How much time are you spending on Netflix, right? How much time are you spending on games, right? And I think there's like healthy healthy amounts of time you can include all those things in your life,
Right.
incorporate all those things. But if I'm spending 3 hours a day on mobile gaming, right, that's like that's a little bit too
Yeah,
much,
well,
right? It's
well,
not
I don't know
benefiting
if
my
it's-
life at all.
But if you wanted to be good at that game, you would have to spend that much time. That's the problem with it. Some of the games you got to spend that time.
And so like if you want to be
So-
a competitive gamer, right? Maybe it makes sense for you to spend that much time. If your
Yeah, but you tell-
career goal is to be a
Yeah,
streamer,
but you tell a
maybe,
kid,
right?
hey, if you keep playing this, you're gonna get paid. What? Oh, I'll keep playing. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like super competitive. It'd be like 1 out of 500,000 or something like that. You might be good or something.
So
But it's just like for any sport, I guess.
just today I was trying to look it up because I've throughout like once, like I said, like when I realized I was 0 or 100 on things,
Right.
I realized I had to better utilize my time on things that are going to improve my life because I was playing these 3 hour. I was on social media 2 hours a day, playing mobile games 3 hours a day, you know, hanging out, and then had a full time job, and I was just tired of where I was at life, and I had to like make hard decisions.
Yeah, because
on,
then like outside the game, you're like, oh, this is my life right now, though.
right. I hated my job, but I wasn't doing anything to get a better job. Right. So now that's on me.
Yeah.
Right. So I started reading all these articles and books on how to build better habits, and really started to learn about self improvement, self reflection. And I read this one article where it's like an hour a day, right, for a year is the equivalent of reading 40 books.
40 books a year. Wow.
So imagine like if you wanted to apply that to a field, right?
Mm-hmm.
A study, right? Or even just looking for a better job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just say, hey, I do this already. Can you just do the same thing, get paid more? Probably.
Right. And so it's like how much time am I willing to put into myself? I'm putting myself into all these other things and not benefiting anything for
right,
me,
they're
right?
not long term
Because it's too much. It's too much. 3 hours a day is too much.
Yeah.
For a lot of things, like I love
unless
sex.
you're gonna be professional at it.
Unless you're gonna be a professional at it.
Because even Arthur Rubinstein, he was a famous pianist, and he didn't really get like quote unquote famous until like he was famous as a kid because he was like a prodigy. He was like really good, but like he didn't get like really like as a made it a career until like he was married and had a kid. And he's like, all right, now it's like okay, I gotta like make money to like really support the family kind of thing. So he didn't really like do really a lot of concerts till like in his 30s, but like he lasted till he's like 80, 90, like he was still doing concerts. But he knew colleagues that by the time they were 30, they're already burned out because they've been doing it. They didn't stop like like he did. They just kept going all the way. And then like what he learned is like you only practice like 3 hours a day. That's like what he limited it at. Maybe 4. Like, but basically, and that's professional, you know what I mean? But he would still only do like 3 to 4 hours a day. But he knew people doing 8, 10 hours a day.
Right.
They're doing 50 hours a week on the piano. Like that's a lot of work. He says, but when it comes to art and music, like you need to get out there in the world too, though. So you don't want to be just stuck in a room or a studio all day.
It's similar for a lot of like famous writers. Like they have like their set routine, right? So some people are they'll wake up in the morning, make some breakfast, drink some coffee, like before everyone else in the world is up, and they'll write 2,000 words. That's it. No more, no less. 2,000 words, and they call it quits. That's the amount of time like they feel is necessary, and then they'll go do something else. They'll go for a walk. They'll walk their dogs, and while they do those things, they'll think about what they just wrote and like make notes, right? But it's 1,500, 2,000 words a day. That's it. Because it's too much of anything is bad, right? And I think that's what I wish I would have known. Like if I want to talk about advice right now, like if I wish I would have known that earlier on when I was a kid. Like too much of anything is bad. Like one Oreo is fine. It's not gonna kill you. The whole bag is gonna make you sick.
Right. Yeah.
You need water. You can't go without water for 3 days, right? But you try to drink a whole bathtub of water, you're gonna die. It's like with anything. Like for me, moderation is the key to life, right?
Yeah.
And it's like with drinking, with drug use, with gaming, with social media. Like you have like if you can master moderation, then I think, along with some other things, I think you'll do pretty well.
I agree. Yeah. I definitely agree. Like speaking of like the advice I would tell myself not to have quit the piano at 12. That's one thing because like I don't even know why my parents let me. They shouldn't have let me, but because I took lessons for 5 years consistently, and it was only a 30-minute lesson. But I didn't know how to do the time management. I didn't realize like, oh, I want to do 6 hours a game. Well, dude, full 5, you'd have just as much time. But if you did 5, what I'm saying, now you can still do the hour of piano a day kind of thing, or even only 30 minutes at that time. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't have quit that. That's probably one of the major regrets. And then like I wouldn't have quit hockey either. I would have just I would have quit the other crap, the other stuff. Like forget wrestling. I'm saying if I had to choose, like I just quit all 3. I was like, I'm gonna quit football, I'm gonna quit wrestling, I'm gonna quit hockey. I should have just quit the other 2 and just kept hockey.
Right.
And I'm looking back now because I played a lot of hockey, but like I should have kept at least one of them. You know what I mean? That's what I think the problem was. I got rid of everything.
Right.
And then like I stopped skateboarding. I didn't do any. That was like the all bad part. I'd say like I would just say just no matter what, stick to the piano, no matter what. take lessons. It's only 30 minutes a day. You know what I mean? Like, look, you can still go skateboard for 8 hours or whatever you want to do. You still got 8 hours. Like, it's a small thing. And I think, like, what you're saying, like an hour a day, like when you add it up, it's like you just read 40 books a year or whatever. Like, yeah, like it really adds up. And they say the average American only reads like a book a year out of high school. And that's, that's still not everybody that does that. That's just the average, you know what I mean? Because also you got like CEOs that they read like 52 books. They're reading average a book a week. They're constantly readers, doesn't mean you have to read like that much, but it just shows that like the 30 minutes an hour a day adds up a lot to like something super productive or something that you can learn and then like take it to the marketplace or whatever, you can make money with it or just enjoy it, and like when it comes to the piano, I just enjoy it. That's something I want to do and I'm gonna do it till I die anyway.
For sure. It's hard, like it's hard to make a kid want to like actually do something if they don't want to do it. Like if you wanted to, I understand your parents for letting you quit because excuse me, because like making a kid do something they don't want to do, they're not going to be invested in it. They're not going to be like paying attention enough. They might just be trying to get through it. But I wish I wish I still with karate. I wish
karate, karate was a good one. I did that for a few years.
Yeah. I mean I wish I still with Little League baseball. I was like one of the best center fielders around when I was like 6 years old.
You know what? I just think, and I'm not blaming my parents, but like if they would imagine, like I'd have a schedule. I should have had a schedule. Teach me how to read a schedule. Teach me how to do a schedule. That's what I think more should have happened. Is I should have been learning those types of traits really early on. And that's what I think a lot of people do. Oh yeah, you'll just learn in school. No, you don't just learn it in school. Oh, I'm just gonna learn. Because I used to think, oh, when I get older, I'm gonna be better at public speaking, or I'm gonna be better at something. And like, no, that doesn't happen. At one point, like I remember, like 21, I'm like, man, I'm still crappy at talking. So it's like you just have to start doing it. And that, then I start doing videos, because I watch a guy, he's like, oh, you want to get good at videos? Record yourself every day, do a 5-minute video and upload it or whatever.
Right.
Just stupid, something like
consistency,
but the consistency
practice,
is what gets it, yeah.
That's funny because our stepdaughter right now, my stepdaughter, we just got her a phone. She just turned 13, got her a phone this last Christmas, and we give her a couple hours of screen time every day. First she has to complete her school, then she has to complete her household tasks, and then hobbies and art, and then she can have a couple hours up until it's time to shut all screen time off at 8 p.m. an hour before she has to go to bed. Then it's her nighttime routine. Awesome. Right? And so some days like she'll things will take longer than normal, and so she'll only have she won't have any screen time because things took too long, or she'll have more screen time because she got things done faster, right?
Yeah, that's a better system.
And so sometimes she's like, I only got to talk with my friends on the phone today for half an hour, and then that's when I go, well, think about your day and how you spent your time, right? You woke up a little bit late, right? You took a long time to get ready for the day. Right, you got distracted a lot, and so I try to show her how her actions affect the time that she has to do things, right? And I try to show her hey, if you stay focused and if you're effective and do things within reason, you have more time to do the things that you love, right? I'm trying to show her there's repercussions to slacking off during the day. There's repercussions to waking up late. If you want to have more time doing these things, then you have to stay focused throughout the day. You have to set alarms, set timers. Really trying to get her a sense of being able to regulate her time, because like you said, as kids, it's we have no concept of time, right?
Well, it's kind of new to this new gaming system,
right.
It wasn't taught. That's good that you're teaching her that. That's going to be invaluable later on, honestly.
I hope so, yeah.
100% is yeah. I agree with that strictness. Limiting it to the time and all that kind of stuff. That's super critical, because there's things that you just have to do in life, and that's the reality of And it's not saying she can't have fun or whatever, but it's you got to do your chores first. That's all. Period. They should be done first. Even though, yeah, as a kid, I didn't want to do it first. Definitely did not want to. But I know if I was forced to it, that reward of wanting to play the game or whatever or I would have just quit the game, and then that would have been okay, fine. You're just gonna do the stuff and not play the game. You know what I mean? You're gonna do your chores, and then not play the game. That would have been,
Because I see that in her too right now. She loves playing Roblox, right? And so it's I let her get on at at 7 o'clock for an 8 p.m. shut off, right?
All
and
right.
and I'll give her like a 5 minute warning. Hey, it's 7:55. You only 5 minutes left. She's like, I just need a little more time for this. And I'm like, well, you are aware that you know how much time you have, and I'm sorry that you can't complete it, but that's it. Like if you,
Yeah.
it's up to you to figure out like before you start something and whether or not it's like gonna go over, right? Because these are hard cutoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm soft though, man.
Well,
I give
because
her a lot of,
sometimes
I
you know
give
you
her.
can't.
Sometimes I understand, like, oh, you're in the middle of a mission that's only like you're about to beat the boss or something.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
might
yeah.
be making little exceptions, but yeah, yeah, try my best to instill time management. I think.
Yeah, time
I
management.
think like if I can instill some manage your time effectively, right? And not only like manage your time effectively, but like when you are doing things that you don't want to do, to have a better mindset of like a better mindset while you do it.
Yeah.
Because if you absolutely hate what you're doing and you pout about it while you're doing it, yeah, time's gonna drag if you're watching every minute.
Right.
That's why when you play games, that's why time just speeds up. Like you lose
Right,
track of it because you're not
so
even paying
fast.
attention to the clock. Moderation's the key to life. I let myself know.
Yeah, I like the moderation, the time management, and having a schedule.
Having
Like if
a
I just had a
schedule.
schedule, it's like okay, you get home at 2:30. Okay, for 30 minutes you say eat, like usually
Mhm.
hungry or whatever. But like I'm just having some kind of. If I even had a general structure, I think that would have helped my life a lot as a kid. So I would pass that on to the next kid.
Right.
If or whatever. If I have a kid one day, I would pass that on. It's like hey, and it might not be like super strict. Like say it only takes 20 minutes to eat. I might you have an hour to eat kind of thing. Like it doesn't have to be like super strict by the minute necessarily. But just to give my idea, it's like, hey, your free time is from 7 to 8
Mhm.
or 6 to 8 if you got your stuff done. Like, but if you're not done, then you got to do this. And maybe I'll throw a little, maybe, I don't know. Like, you have to experiment. Like, maybe I would let them, okay, at 3 to 4, you can kind of go do whatever you want also.
Mhm.
And if you choose to do your phone or whatever that time, okay, maybe. But, like, then from this other time, it's like, hey, now we're doing dishes from whatever. I don't know, just something else. Like, I think it's going to teach, good values. And because a lot of people don't even know how to cook their own food now, apparently. I just learned about that. Like, a lot of the young people don't know how to cook their own food. They're always relying on fast food. Just like something simple like that. Like, I learned, my mom cooked all the time, so I just learned how to cook. It wasn't like, I was always around it, you know what I mean? But I guess a lot of people don't get that.
My mom cooked all the time too, like every single meal from birth to 18 and then beyond sometimes. And yeah, I didn't know how to cook until like 3 or 4 years ago. Like
Oh, wow.
because like maybe well because
I mean,
because my
yes.
mom cooked for me every single day, right?
Well, if
And I
you
have
live
to do
right
it.
there, yeah. Or
And
whatever.
then when I started to like power move through life, it was about time management. It was like, what am I willing to spend time on? I'm writing, I'm trying to create, right? I'm networking, right? So I'm gonna pay someone else to make my food, so I don't have to do it. So I have more time to.
Well, and in that case, I don't disagree with you. I actually
Mhm.
agree with that because if you could figure out your time and you're like, well, look, I know my time is better off doing this, even though I know this is important. It's just like mowing your lawn.
Mhm.
Like, should you mow your lawn? Maybe not. Maybe you should pay somebody because like your time's more valuable doing something else. It's like I'm paying you or somebody, $10 or whatever it is, $20 an hour to like mow my lawn. Yeah, I could have saved the $120 a month or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But like, if I do it myself, what if I just I can go make $200 in 30 minutes as opposed to or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if you can make the money to pay for the service, that's better. Then you can have you can have a really advanced life. That's how the super rich do it. They got people working for them, doing little stuff like that, whether it's cooking, cleaning, all that kind of like. It starts with the mundane things, But I'm saying, I guess, like teach the kid, like, hey, it's okay to do the mundane things.
You should know how to do them before you pay someone else to do them. You should.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, especially as a kid, that's
Yeah.
when you should do it. Like as having a kid, I think you need to do all that stuff because then you're not going to be all entitled later on.
So today it's just like time management,
Yeah,
some
discipline, of course.
discipline, working on a schedule.
Yeah, schedule,
Moderation's key to life.
moderation. Yeah.
And this is just video games. Like I have this whole other realm of like of stories of addiction when it comes to like drugs and alcoholism,
Oh yes.
where I dance on the lines of those things. But I think we hit every note. Thanks again today, Scott. I think this is talking to yourself.
talking to yourself, man. That was
See
fun.
you guys next week. Same time, same place.
All right. Hope you enjoyed. It's been a pleasure, bro.
Okay, that's good. Let's turn there.
And me on. Oh my gosh, what's up everybody? How are you guys? So yeah, that's our first section. That's our first section. Hello everybody out there. Now I got a minute to talk to all you guys. I see everybody. I see y'all. Hello. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give them all a round of applause. That was great though, right? That was great. Okay, I had a great time. Yeah, so our next section is gonna be well, I mean, honestly, I'm not. Okay, that was some pretty nerd shit. This time we're gonna talk about other. I guess. Well, I guess it's gonna be a continuation of nerd shit, just with a different group. And then, okay, so we're gonna do an hour of group stuff from 8:30 to 9:30. Yes, I'll be there. You quit it. Yes, you in the back. Yes. Stop. Hi, hi. Yeah, so we'll have a whole new set of people out there. While I have a minute though, I guess if everybody could go over to the YouTube and press that like button, I mean whatever platform you're on, you want to watch it there, whatever. Let's not get pushy, but if you could go over, hey the guy behind me. No, do not notice the guy behind me. Stop. If you notice him, I have to pay him. We don't look at the guy behind me. Just don't do it. Don't do it. What up, bird? Bird's the word. Yeah, so, why am I not showing up? That's weird. Oh, that's so funny. There we go. Holy shit. I wasn't on one of the screens. Sorry, we're working on it. Oh, there I am. Wait. Could we make a hold on. Do I have time for this? I do. Hold on. What if I went? Okay, listen. Hold on. I got it. Yo, I got it. Listen, you in the back making so many jokes. What if I just got really transparent on you? Like, oh, like now you see him, now you don't. Was that it? Oh, damn. Was that like the best dad joke ever? Best dad joke. There you go. That was just me being transparent, right? I was just trying to be transparent with you. Oh, peekaboo. Oh, hi. There I was. Okay, let's stop the dad jokes. That was so bad. Don't clap that. Don't clap that. Oh, it's cool that you came and watched though. I do appreciate it. Yeah, so now we just I guess we got damn. I got 10 minutes. What could I talk about for 10 minutes? Damn, and this is recorded. That's an awkward turtle. That's an awkward turtle. Shit. Okay, well, because we were talking about your video game, because we were talking about your video game stuff, there was one game that really got to me in the chat. That it's funny you brought that up. Yo, the lamest game ever, and I can't believe we played for hours and hours. Goat Simulator. I don't know if you've ever played Goat Simulator, but this damn goat literally goes around, and you just like swing the goat, fling. It's oh my god, it's so bad. All of a sudden the goat's here, and it's like wee, and then you fling it this way, and then you fling it that way, and you get points for. Or oh, what was the other one? Yo, poop in the soup. You can't make this shit up, bro. The game literally, you were trying. Okay, so you were on top of a building. Like imagine you're on like Donkey Kong. You're way up here, and then you're like bloop bloop. You're like throwing soup on these people, and they're like, it's in my soup. And then you get soup. What is like a poopy soup combo? What was it? Fuck. It was something stupid. Hello, how are you? We're doing like a 3-hour podcast. Jump on board, grab a seat, stay a while. Yeah, and so yeah, man, that shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious. The poop. Stop. The poop on the soup was so good. So good. Jesus. What do you mean? What if I just start flying around? and then I would need something to drop the sauce, like as it's going down, like bloop, 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 bloop. No, I don't know. Fuck, maybe not. Maybe not. Damn, there was what is the other? No, okay. So the thing is, I actually really like Subnautica though. Subnautica was one that we broadcasted. I felt like a lot, and I don't know why everybody hated it. No, that's not true. I felt like half the people loved it and half the people, yeah, you know who you are, and half the people hated it. Yeah, you know exactly who you are. Damn, hated that game. And then let's see, what other ones were we playing on the broadcast? I mean, that was the more goofy. Yo, okay, you know the one that I was really, really, really bad at? What that one game where you had to like, the guy was not as maybe he just had like one leg or something, and he was like trying to throw himself up, and then he would throw himself up higher and throw himself, and then it would fall down, and you'd just be like, oh, damn, oh man, I would get so upset. That shit would have ruined my day. You spend an hour on that and then just fall over. And damn, it was over so fast. So damn fast. I'm normally much better at just rattling. Kind of surprised I don't have anything good to talk about today. Oh man, yeah. Okay, well that that you guys can all look up. Yo, that's a good read. That's a really good read. If there's anyone like in the background, getting that's actually a really good one. If you need a good read, search Sony EverQuest Dragon Shutdown by CEO or something. Yeah, it's all like Kotaku, Kotaku. Fuck. Don't make me fucking spell it. All right, Kotaku. Yes. Yeah. So great read about the Sony CEO shutting down a raid that I was leading. So if you ever need something, that's right. Yeah. Fuck you, Sony CEO, I guess. Huh? Yeah. Or not. I love you. Don't hurt me, Sony. I feel like you control everything in the world. Like, don't hurt me, Sony. You control everything in the world. We're trying to save that nerd shit for later, bud. That's the nerdiest shit I've got in my repertoire. We're about to talk the nerd shit. Yeah, stay tuned. Jesus, I'm gonna stay tuned. Oh man. All right. Well, while he sits there, okay. So let's so this is left focus. Well, that didn't work very well. No, it did not. Remove. Yeah. Why is my Zoom scene not? Oh, fuck! It was working. Oh, look, there you are. Okay, left focus. All right. So, oh, Jesus, sorry, Welliker. We're trying to make a scene really quick here. Zoom scene. Oh shit. Oh, now look at this. Oh, we can zoom. Oh, what happened there? Looks like you got in a fight there, bud. Wait, what? Oh, are you gonna continue to sit there for a little bit? Okay, yeah. We're just setting up, everybody. Hi. Yeah, I don't know. This is my goof around time. Don't mind me. This is how I spend my free time in life. This is intermission. They can't hear you, only me. Your mic is still disabled. Oh, well, fine. Now they can hear you.
Yeah, we're still in intermission right here, folks.
Yeah, we're still in intermission. Yeah, sure. Is that what she
Gotta
called
give
it?
people a water break. Yeah, you need a water break. Go to the bathroom.
Water break.
Yeah. Get ready for round 2.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Sorry, still just
You're surprisingly in a lot of games.
I can talk about it for sure. One of my favorite podcasts is Game Scoop by IGN.
Oh, there it was.
Okay.
There it was.
Gaming podcast.
There it was.
Again, like, I don't even have a system, but I'm over here listening to.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
People talk about games.
Too big, huh? Too big. That's what she said. Too big, huh? Too big, huh? Settle down. Oh, look. Okay, there we got one set up. Hey. Okay, where's me?
Where are you?
There's always just a perfect amount of room for me. I know. This is like, I poop you. Out. I guess this is where I usually fit, huh? I mean, I thought I looked really good here. Yo, I was watching one. I looked really good here. Damn. I feel like this is the spot to be. When it's just two people on that sofa and I get to butt in and just smack everybody. Like, watch the tail. It's like, whap! Yeah, take that, bitch. Whap! Yeah.
Oh.
Whap! Yeah, that's right. The whole time, just take my tail whip. Take that fucking tail whip. What do you mean, congratulations? Your mom's a congratulations. Or wait, what? Wait, what? Why are you telling me congratulations? That's confusing.
What's the celebration?
Line changed. Ever crack. What do you mean? Oh, wait. Compare the physics of goat tossing and soup dropping. Both were pretty bad. Stop. We were talking about like the worst games ever. Oh, sorry. I'll go back to my office. Look at that. Look at me. Look at this shit right there. You wish you had a fucking office like that. God damn. Wait, is it Mad Hatter Day for real? Because that would be hilarious if it really was. I don't believe you though. Hey Google, is it Mad Hatter Day? It's October fucking 6th, bud. October 6th is Mad Hatter Day. We're not even fucking close to October 6th. What are you? Hey, Google N. Stop talking. Google, stop talking.
Let me give you the Wikipedia version of it.
It's in October, man. It's in October. You'll drink my holy water. I bet you will. October 6th. Yeah, it's fucking October 6th, bud. Not even close. I get free sizzling water. Yo, is what's his face coming back? Because like, it's go time, man. Or is he not in on this? Are we ditching him?
Vlad, his phone's here, isn't it?
Oh yeah, his phone's here. Yeah, we can't call him, so we gotta go knock on his door.
I'll call Vinny.
Yeah. Like, well, that might not work because I'm unholy. I wish I could put songs on right now. I would just start putting on that holy song. I can't even sing. I just know it goes holy. Oh fuck, never mind. You know, I'm just gonna stop myself. So fucking embarrassed right now. Remind me to delete this part of the broadcast later on. Just remind me to delete this 10-minute. Oh fuck, it's raining tacos on one of the screens.
Vlad is on his way.
Yo shit, it's raining tacos. Damn, I can't play that song either. Damn it. Yo, thank you for the tacos though. Fucking delicious. Now that makes me think of the raining taco song, but it get copyrighted.
Yeah, it's Taco Tuesday too.
Yeah, fuck Taco Tuesday.
If we had our stuff together, we'd have like tacos. It's Tuesday. Like we should come have tacos at the broadcast.
We should just have tacos and beer the whole time. And, oh damn, is that what we could do? 10-minute ASMR of just you crunching on tacos.
Yeah.
Just oh good. Well, somebody sits there. Beautiful. Is that where you're gonna sit? Oh. Damn. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Check that. God. Oh, now we gotta add your nameplate there, right? Hold on. Oh, brush it off. Brush it off like a badass. Ooh. I guess that goes over there. Oi.
Vladdy Daddy. Is that a
Oh
movie?
man.
Taco Tuesday.
Oh, it's a hot pocket.
It's Taco Tuesday?
Wait, can they see this?
I don't know. We don't
What?
know yet.
We're live.
We are live.
Yeah, we're still setting up. Oh, center focus. Hold on.
Third mic. We need a third mic.
He'll be all right.
That's right. I do need a third mic.
Well, I know this one right here.
Yeah. You just
Plug her in.
the little
Oh,
USB.
no, we can get even closer. Hold on. I feel like I can zoom in more. Oh, I feel like I can zoom in even more in this one. Hold on. Let me really get a good. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, Jesus.
You can see the hot pocket stains on my little beard.
Well then.
Little hot pocket sounds bomb.
Dude, I think I need to edit that.
Apparently I'm really.
How good does that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Powerade.
Yo, this is
I
Vladdy
might
Daddy.
scoot over a little bit more to give Vlad just a little more room, so I'm not like crushing him.
This is Vladdy Daddy. He bikes every Wednesday. Make sure to look for him tomorrow. You guys had our part of the bike crew out there. You know who I'm talking to. Check him out. Look for this face, okay? Listen, if you see him, what do you want them to do to you? Are you okay if girls just randomly grab your butt?
You know, I'm cool.
Would you
with that.
consent to that?
Yeah,
If girls just would walk up and grab your butt tomorrow, bike ride?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's okay with that. He's consented. We asked, he consented.
There's no
Yeah.
biting.
We got that.
You say that now, bro. Until it actually happens.
Until it happened. Well,
Violated.
I mean, how committed are you really? You know. All right. Well,
And how long does a consent go for? Like 2 years from now. So hey, well, that video, yeah, that.
That's true.
did you plug it in?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been trying to contact you in regards to your car's extended warranty.
Oh wow. It's wow. Talk again?
We've been trying to contact you in regards to your car's extended warranty.
Oh my.
Hmm?
It's
I just feel like if this wasn't under here,
It does have.
it's so loud.
you'd have a little more room.
Oh, what? Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
careful.
Uh oh. The TV went off.
Okay,
Well, that was you.
there we go. I fixed that shit. There we go, you guys. Alrighty.
The little monitor's not working.
What's not working?
The little monitor.
Oh, you fuckers.
Now
Are
I
we
can't
good?
see how ugly I look.
Are you back? Did you kill it from the back end?
That's always,
I
bro.
just
That's always.
We don't need to see it anyway.
Welcome to the Wire Management Podcast, where all we talk and discuss is how to manage your wires. I'm terrible at wire
I think
management.
the little what is it, DVI?
DVI, yeah.
DVI port might be a little loose or a little pins not too bent.
I mean, if you're
Well,
talking
it's a
about
power
DUI,
issue.
I'll be able to relate a little bit more.
Really?
Yeah. I think she died.
No.
Oh well, no. There's something on the screen, right? It
Yeah.
keeps popping up.
No, the screen's working. I think it's just a connection to the screen, because it's on standby mode when it's colored yellow like that. That means it's not getting any input from the wire to the computer. See no signal.
I think it'll be alright. I didn't look at the screen one time
I do.
during talking to yourself.
I was gonna say, if you unplug them both, you should go under these cords, cause so like we'll like pull this.
Nope.
Oh, there was. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Don't touch it.
Come on, dude, you're in charge of the setup. You
Don't
get
touch
this
it.
shit good.
Don't touch it.
I've heard that before.
Oh, my hot pocket's getting
Jesus.
Vlad's the opposite. He's like, touch it in public. Walk up to me.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's start this shit show. Holy bazolies. All right, well, restarting again. Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the show. Holy bazolies. We've got all the good buddies in the room today. Vinny, don't be scared to just yell, by the way, in the background. It's okay. It's nerd shit today. You can be the the guy in the background. We got the Will here. We got the Vladdy Daddy, and we've got the one and only Mr. Scott. Everybody. Oh Jesus, I'm still in front of everybody. I'm sorry. My bad. Nerd shit. By the way, I feel like nerd shit could be anything, and so that could go in pretty much any direction, right? And so it's a pretty open topic. And when I say nerd stuff, I don't know. I'll just think of nerd stuff right now off the cuff. You could be super nerdy and into automobiles. You could be super nerdy into all of your book reading. You could be super nerdy, know how to fucking cut people open, and talk about all these goddamn vein things, and I just be like, bro, do veins even exist like that? Are you just lying to me? I don't even know. Nerdy could be, holy Jesus, I want to just talk about all this nerd shit for marijuana. So, started out with a fun one because it is a little bit of the good buddies. What does nerd mean to all of you? Like, when I say nerd shit, like, what is your first thought? Because when I text this the other day, you're all like, yeah, that sounds good. So, what I got to add right away. What is nerd stuff to you?
Well, I mean, like historically, right? It's like it pertains to like academics, and then it kind of evolved from there, right? And then it was like comic books, and then anime, right? And then just pop culture in general. I mean, nerdy for me, like I was very top class in elementary school. Every single class got accepted to the gifted program, right? Where then for junior high school,
Nerd,
right? And then it was like Pokemon for a really long time, and that kind of devolved into like my nerdiness was like I ran like an underground stolen Pokemon card market where like I was buying and selling stolen Pokemon cards to the kids in my school, and then it kind of like gradually evolved from that, you know, anime, never sports really, juggling for a period, solving the Rubik's cube, always been well read. I mean, that's been like sometimes video gaming. That's been like the extent of my nerdiness, I think.
That was pretty good. So, nerd or geek?
Oh, so I would say nerd and geek, they both have different definitions. So, as geek, you're like very knowledgeable in like a show or a series or something.
Does
I've said like Star Wars or like the Trekkies. You know, I think that's a term for geek. Like you know, you like the you know, I don't know, like you like that sci-fi spaceship.
I had to look it up. I
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary it just to help. Just Urban Dictionary type
Yes.
talk right now, okay? Some people use the term nerd to describe someone who is intelligent and academic oriented. However, geek is more referred to someone who is just enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a very particular hobby or interest.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
That's a good definition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could be a nerd and a geek, you know. You can be
Right.
enthusiastic, happy, know all the stats on useless information, but it doesn't mean you're like smart or whatever. But it also doesn't mean you're dumb. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I feel like everybody's smart if they put their mind to whatever it is they want to do. And a lot of people, you know, if it's something you enjoy and you get excited over it, you're gonna nerd out on it, so to speak. You know, you're gonna go learn about a bunch of stats about it.
Right, like what you spend your time on, right? Like it's like you can. What was the quote? Like you can, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll go its whole life thinking it's dumb, or something. You know, like yeah.
Oh yeah. It just can't be done.
Wow.
That sounds about right, though.
Yeah, honestly, it's you guys have provided a really good definition for the term nerd. It's pretty much achieving in academics, achieving in just any type of studies that is both influential to your mind. I would say like brain development. You know, the more you work, the more that you like what you do, that requires a certain precision of skills and like neurons to bounce in your brain to do that certain thing. You know, it's just you're training your brain to be better every day.
Is there anything that you're nerdy about or geek out on?
I geek
in
out
particular?
about capacitors and capacitors and diodes, and I just like freak out. You know, I'm like, oh, that's an older capacitor because it's like bigger, and like the smaller ones are getting macronized. I just get really in depth with it.
What are capacitors for those who don't know?
And what is a diode?
A capacitor is able to hold electrons and basically release it based on a trigger interface that's on the PCB board. So it's this power storage at a sense, and I think it's using fiberglass fiberglass to hold in those electrons, which is very interesting because when they puff up and explode, you could see that there's like a little cotton in there coming out, but it's not cotton, it's fiberglass. But a certain type of fiberglass, it's not really fiberglass, it's like a chemical compound.
And now I don't feel nerdy at all.
Are they like in a certain pattern, those electrons, or are they just kind of like?
Oh yes, so they're in a certain way, like it's kind of like a battery, but not really. It's like think of it
Okay,
as
so there's a
battery.
type of storage within the diode.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh no, diode is more
Or
of
no.
like it's like a, how do I say this? It's like a, I forgot.
Well, let's talk about the fiberglass part then. Like,
What is it used for?
So
Where would you find these in everyday life?
oh, you would find them on TVs, like computers,
On the
circuits,
circuits?
circuit boards, any circuit board that
oh,
you encounter.
is it more for like power
Yes.
consumption? Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Like data, like electrons. That's what I was thinking. Like it's like a hard drive.
Oh.
That'd be different then.
Oh yeah, and honestly, I'm more in depth with like just lithium technology and like I see myself as a nerd. I'm just really like to know more about what we're capable of when it comes to developing new scientific achievements for batteries.
So there's
Yeah.
all of these. Is that how? Okay, so I had to look this up a little bit. There's a gun diode, a pin, a tunnel, an LED, a laser, a vacuum, and they all look different too. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was gonna say a nerd can be a geek on anything, but a geek is not necessarily a nerd on everything. But a nerd, I feel like, could be a geek about anything. You know, like I think it's more like, yeah, you're smart about something, you can learn about something, you could be yeah. I don't know. That's what I say about the nerd thing. But yeah, I mean, I had no problem being a nerd.
Wait, so what do you nerd out on or geek out on yourself?
Just I like science. Science was my favorite subject, so I loved science, astronomy, physics, that kind of stuff. That was awesome time in those classes. And I guess I actually physics class I didn't do great the first time in it. I actually did pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a C/D student actually, so I did have a D in that class. But it was like my favorite class because like I learned all this cool stuff. I just didn't apply myself properly or whatever.
Right.
But because normally I was good at math. I was in the higher math in like sixth grade. Sixth grade, there was only like 4 of us in the math class. But anyway, that was a fun class, physics.
I'm so out of practice when it comes to math. Like I'm trying to get back into it. I want to I want to start challenging myself and like start retaking like these math courses. Like me, starting like pretty early on, because I haven't used it in so long. But like in 4th grade, I scored in the 98th percentile on the state math exam, and that's what like helped me get into like this gifted program in junior high school. And in 8th grade, I had every single 8th grade class had the same math teacher. So we all had the same curriculum, we all had the same tests, right? Pretty small class. And I had a math first period. So what I would do is I would steal the math test, and I would fill it out, and then I would make copies, and then sell it to the later classes. And so
Man, you lost direction, man. What the heck are you doing?
well, in math, like I started cutting school in high school. So
Well, that explain it. Yeah, so you're just
He
someone
said,
that cut
"Fuck that
found
shit."
shortcuts
I
in
found
life.
a
You were
shortcut.
trying to find the shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
I could resonate with that. In high school, I used to how do I say this? I used to be in IT. They would just like the principal or the assistant principal would just like cut me out of class and be like, "Yo, can you fix like six of these computers and realign the sounds for the next meeting that we're having on whatever." And because they have like the auditorium meetings and they have like a little sound booth with a computer and the whole spiel with the electricity. So I'm just like the guy that they would just be like, "Hey, you want to have a good little thing for your college essay, you could send over." I got accepted to many colleges, and I'm like, fuck. And then that was what helped, is like during high school, if you're able to implement yourself and what you know, and like even earlier on, it goes a long way towards like your development for jobs and colleges. It's quite amazing. And that's what I've learned is like, get yourself involved in your high school curriculum activities, and you honestly like colleges see that, jobs see that, and they're like, wow, you know. So
That's true, actually. Yeah, I knew a guy who was like really smart, and it was because I was in a we call it like a lab tech. It was a computer class, but like we'd go around. I'd do something similar to what you're doing, but mostly it was just fixing a printer. Like some teacher's printer that didn't want to work, or something so basic. Oh, the mouse doesn't work. I don't know. It was like little basic stuff
Like
that.
IT 101.
Yeah, it was like IT 101. That was like a lab tech. But I remember there was a guy who like because also the same teacher had a programming class. Like he had like 3 classes in the same class at the same time. It was cool. Like he had like a little separate door too, and like it was like a glass door. Like that was like this like that was like the advanced class or whatever. Anyway, we had this guy that was like a programmer, but he started making $75,000 a year right out of high school. Just and this is in 2004. Like boom. From
Right.
programming though, but like you said, he applied himself to high school to get good at it while he was in high school, so he had extra time to learn and all that stuff, and then he got offered a job right away.
amazing.
So like, I think that's really good advice for somebody in high school. It's like, hey, if you could find something, and I know like other countries do it more so, where it's like they already have like by the time they're 15, 16, they already know like, oh, you're gonna go into this, you're already like you're going into something special, like a specialty or whatever. But here it's kind of like you just have to like. Hopefully you're on the right track, or someone gives you guidance, or you know what I mean. Because that's how it happened. The teacher told him, "Hey man, just keep getting good at this," and he got good at it, and then he made it. Started off.
Yeah, he had job experience before he actually had an actual
job experience for the job. Yeah.
And then so sometimes you need like a degree and 3 years experience. But like how I just got my degree and I have no 3 years experience. Like how do I get the experience if I'm only interning? It's like this weird.
Yeah, you need both really.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just got to take advantage of the opportunities in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Where hey, you got a guy giving all that shit, you got to take advantage of it.
You know what? You're absolutely.
I read this article about like about raising kids and like
Take advantage of it. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Take advantage of this.
They're just gonna watch you.
You just said that I had to pull that one.
I read this article about like raising kids, and the article suggested that you don't tell a kid that they're smart, right? Because telling the kid that they're smart, it's not gonna build good habits, right? They're gonna go through life thinking that they're smart because they're told that they're smart, and then anything that challenges them, they might avoid because they don't want to be proven wrong. Right, what you should tell kids is that you're a hard worker. You're so great at working hard, right? Because they're going to associate their success and their accomplishments with working hard and not being smart. So working hard is like, it's okay to be challenged. Challenge is a good thing. They work hard, they overcome these challenges, and that's how they gain success and knowledge and, I guess ultimately happiness.
Yeah. And then
That's pretty smart.
Hopefully if they had some other sense, they're going to teach them like to not get taken advantage of either though. Because like, oh wow, you're super smart. Well, let's just pay as cheap as possible and like take advantage of you. So that's like the other end of that. I'd want to teach a kid to know like, hey, we got to value what you know now too though. So like that kid taking that job at $70,000 a year or whatever, instead of like because he would have probably agreed to $25,000. You know what I mean? Just because this is fun, it's cool. Like yeah, I could he just enjoyed it. You know what I mean at that point. But like it's good that he had the right person say no, you're worth this much kind of thing.
Oh, you gotta have that.
And about the grades too, I had a teacher that he would never give anybody 100% on nothing. 99% was a max grade. And then another teacher where he didn't even give you A, B, or C, or D. He had to do it on the report card, but your grade was a 1 through a 9, and like a 9 was kind of like an A, right? A plus, and then like 8, 7 would be like a B plus A. Like you didn't really know. Like he just give you numbers, and like a 6 was like you didn't do that great. Like it's like you did average. Yeah, he had a whole number system. And this guy was a cool teacher because he was like a professional, retired professional tennis player. So he already had like all his money or whatever. So he just like taught it because he liked to teach. You know what I mean? So like he didn't like need the job or whatever. So he's like, I don't care if I get fired kind of thing. He was like totally not PC. Like he would probably get fired today, maybe. But like he was cool. Yeah, Mr. Bogard. I remember that guy. I remember one time I was sleeping in the class and he'd say stuff. He's like, you don't know or you don't. He's like, what's the answer to this question? I was like, I don't know. He's like, you don't know or you don't care. Like it was just funny. Yeah, don't remember too much of him. He was an English teacher though, but yeah.
I only I only earned 1 English credit in high school, and I'm an aspiring writer.
Oh, that's a good story though.
Yeah, well,
Right.
Yeah, I like
Sometimes the school just can't teach you the way you need to know it.
I
Right?
fucking hated school, and I cut school a lot. And it felt like a popularity contest held in prison. like and things weren't going well at home, and I mean, at least my perception of things not going well at home, it was
Right.
my perception. Like things were, looking back at it now, I was just like angsty and like, yeah, my mom was in the middle of a divorce, and I didn't want to like participate in the household, right? And it was just like a lot of tension. I mean, that I was helping create as well. But like, yeah, in the moment, I was fucking had like the worst life in the world, and I didn't want to be in class, um, especially because like I felt like these weren't my counterparts. These weren't my peers, right? I got caught cutting freshman year in high school. My mom took away my Nextel phone, right? Which was
Oh.
like the biggest thing, right? It was like this is like was my first phone. I couldn't talk with my friends anymore, and so I what I ended up doing was I worked hard at not getting caught cutting school. Like I made copies of the mailbox key. I used to unplug my phone at night. I
What a professional.
Oh wow.
so
Went the distance.
and then that one teacher, like one teacher who I just absolutely love like I had women's studies with her fourth period one year, and she connected me so much, and she like believed in me, and she challenged me, and she treated me as an adult. I found out next year she was teaching next semester she was teaching video production, so I signed up right away. And because of that, this while I was in class, my this dude Pip, he came through and he represented his organization called RealWorks Teen Filmmaking, right? It's a nonprofit organization that teaches kids how to make short documentaries. And so I applied to the program. I got accepted to the program, right? And it's like after school. It met on Wednesdays and Saturdays. They made an announcement in my school. It was such a big deal, right? In the morning announcements, they were like, "Congratulations to these 3 kids who got accepted to this program." Said my name, and my teachers got together and said, "We have to get Will out of this program because he's gonna make our school look bad, and they might not ever come back to
Damn.
recruit." This is what they did. This is my teacher told me.
Wow.
Guess what? I never missed one class, right? I ended up making an award-winning documentary about me and my friends cutting school, got a full-time job at that organization. The next year, right? I went
Hilarious.
back. I went back as
Hilarious.
the representative of the program recruiting kids. I showed my documentary in English class, in these classes,
That's awesome.
to all these kids, to a couple of these teachers who got together to fucking
Sabotage.
get me out of this program, right? And that's I mean, when it comes to like nerding out or geeking out, like that was like, it was like
That's
film,
definitely-
screenwriting. I fucking spent hours and hours on my movie and hours learning about editing and making stories.
That's so
That's-
goddamn
that-
beautiful.
That is really cool. And that just it's like the one teacher believed in you when the other teachers
Yep.
wouldn't or whatever. Or and I get it, teachers are overwhelmed too, but it's like you just needed some direction because it wasn't really happening at home or whatever. You're going through the divorce and all that kind of stuff, and you're at that time when it's like you could kind of like you could just walk out. Like I mean, unless someone's physically holding you down, now you're an adult, but not adult, but like you can just walk out. You're 16 or whatever. You know what I mean? Who's gonna hold you down?
And that's the thing. It's not like I hated school. I hated the what it was, but I didn't hate learning. I love learning, right? And so like part of the thing to prove to my mom that I was still going to class was like sitting on the kitchen table and like reading my textbooks. I was still learning every single day. I still read all the textbooks. I failed every single class, but I passed every single state exam.
Yeah. Wow. My uncle told me a story the other day when he was in high school. He was the first day of class, and he was in class. And he walked in, and like I don't know if he was late or not. I don't remember, but he didn't have a pencil. So he's the kind of guy. He did after a pencil. He would arrive to the teacher, said, "Can I get a blue slip?" And I guess what a blue slip is basically like he cannot come back to the class unless his parents sign it. So he's like, "Just give me a blue slip." But he didn't even want to say, "Give me a pencil." He's like the stubbornest guy, and then he goes and walks to another class where his girlfriend was there, and it's an art class, and he loved art.
Mhm.
So then he's like, "I'm in this class now." The teacher's like, "Oh, okay." you know, and then like, and then she realized like he's actually really good, and he,
Right.
you know, and then like he becomes like the like not just a normal student, now he's like the teacher's aide of the art class and helping students draw and everything like that. But like it kind of like similar to what you're saying. It's like now it's like, hey, this is what he liked to do. You like to do video or whatever, you know, something creative, rather than like your route memorization of this English stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? Something you can enjoy doing. I think that's important for kids to have. That's why like when I hear when they're talking about, oh, we're gonna cut the budget of music, we're gonna cut the budget of arts and that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. Like that's dumb. It's just as important as math.
Cut lunch before you cut me music and art. That's an exaggeration.
Yeah, no, yeah, but you should. It's like, yeah, you got to keep it. Like it's just as valuable. Like in my opinion, it's just as valuable. I mean, yeah, there are some subjects you can but not art. Like, come on now.
No,
Not art and music.
No.
I'd say keep that. Squeeze it out.
All right, we'll just go right to Vladimir and switch it up a little. Vladimir, dorkiest, nerdiest video game you've ever been hooked on?
Civilization 5. I played that shit too many times. I have approximately 382 hours. It might not seem like a lot.
Oh wow.
But like all those times I literally was playing it. Like not leaving my computer deck Steam thing on all night. No, I actually played that shit all night till like 4 and 5 morning. Trying to like the game is so addicting, man. It's just so fun, bro. You get to be whatever the hell you want to be and like nuke stuff, bro. It's kind of dark, but it's fun because you see how the world develops in such a fun way, you know, and you learn too, which is so cool. It's like one of those fun learning games, you know. And
Is that how we're gonna sell it? Because I just look at it one of those games where it's about taking over the goddamn world and making me mad.
Yeah, Gandhi with nukes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, Gandhi eventually gets nukes though. Yeah, literally, Gandhi gets nukes eventually. In that game.
He does. That's a real
Does.
thing.
He does. Yeah. Gandhi literally nukes your ass eventually.
Oh,
But a game-
6 sucks, by the way. Don't get that.
There's
Hey, that's facts.
But there's probably learn history too in that game.
Yes.
I'd imagine. I hope it's real history, and then
Oh.
they're just making up some backstory or whatever. But like, would they have real stories and stuff like czars and all
It's
that?
more.
I've watched
you
gameplay
just-
actually. Never
Yeah,
played.
you advance technology.
Yeah.
It's.
No, I get that part
It's
too,
not
but I'm just saying, like, I know they have like the little lore and stuff that you can read like as you're playing the game.
Oh yeah, and they have like quotes from famous like inventors, musicians, and whenever you present a great work in a game, it gives you an accurate like depiction of like the song and the person that created it, and it's so amazing. It's like really, really, really cool game. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's so fun. Just
You gotta
best
try it
shit
out.
ever.
You gotta try it out. Just try it out. You know this game I used to like that I thought about it? It was called Under a Killing Moon. You guys should look it up. It's on Steam now, actually.
Yeah?
It like came from the 90s. So this game, they actually got like legitimate actors. And like this game was like made in like 92, 93, 94, something like that. So it's like 4 discs to play.
Oh,
you know, like a game like this, and it's like you're a private investigator. And like you're in the year like I don't know, it's like 2050 or 2150 or something, like in San Francisco. Like there's like mutants everywhere, but they're not like bad. It's like, hey, like the guy is normal, but he just like has like an extra arm or limb or something. He's like a mutant or whatever.
Ooh.
And he's like too bad he don't like fresh brains, moif. Because the guy's name's Murph, but he calls him moif, hot off the
Oh.
grill. And then that's like but it's like a live guy like that they recorded. Like he did like this whole little like that whole little 5-second spiel I just said. And then it's like you go talk to the guy. Then it's like on the screen. It's like, okay, now you get to ask some questions. You're like, hey, did you see? Hey, there's this guy that because there's like a problem that happened. You know what I mean? And you're trying to like you're a detective. That's the game right there. Yeah. That game's so
Yep,
dope.
that's
dude.
the game.
That game's so dope. You
That
guys
is the
should try
game.
that game.
Is that
Yeah.
on the Coleco? Oh no, so
Well, it's on Steam now.
What's the original console that played?
Oh,
It was an
Computer-
MS DOS game.
Computer MS DOS 3.1. DOS 3.1 would play it, and maybe even prior to that. I'm not sure if I don't even remember what's before 3.1. Well, I mean, because 3.1 you had like the window, but then you'd log out to go to DOS. Like DOS was still like the core operating system, and then like you would load Windows on top of DOS, and then you have Visual. But like when you started this game, you were like in DOS, and then you type like DOS, like it's like CD, like change directory, CD space games / and enter, and then like game.exe.
Windows 3.1.
Like, yeah, that's how the game started and stuff.
You had to
but-
actually type it out.
But
You
they
had
had
to tell
like
DOS what to do.
yeah, but they had like actors. Like every scene was like a movie though. Like it's really cool. It's really interactive. It's like a cool story. Like let me just the quick story is like you go on top of they're trying to like purify the earth because like I said there's been like nuclear wars and stuff like that. Yeah, so like there's like these like this group that's trying to like it's like Nazi stuff. Like they have like this. They call it the Moon Child. They built like a whole livable thing in space where it only fits like I don't know if it's like 10,000 or 100,000 people. So it's like they're getting everybody up to there, and they're just gonna destroy the whole Earth. Like they're gonna like basically kill all life and then wait like there's like a time it might be like 70, 80 years that they're gonna wait, and then they're gonna like repopulate it with like nature and stuff, and then they're gonna like come back and like so all the mutants are gone because it's all the nuclear war. So that's why people are like evolved into like missing limbs or whatever.
That sounds like too close to home right now.
Like
yeah, no, I'm saying like a little bit of foreshadowing going on right here. I don't know. It's making me uncomfortable. It's like
and this is a game 94. It's dope. It's sick. I'd recommend that game. That's my nerd. For that one.
That's funny. We're talking Windows 95. That's amazing.
Yeah, for its time, it was
that's pretty amazing.
Really
I was looking it up.
We're talking about that typing game that earlier.
Typing tutor.
Right, and my same neighbor, he like gave me the typing game, and he was teaching me how to mess with DOS. I never got really too far into it though, because I ended up I ended up like messing around with his girlfriend, who was also 21.
Well then.
Burn that bridge.
That's a oops a Rooney's right there, man.
Speaking of nerd, like, yeah, that's bad. But I took apart my dad's computer when I was 10 years old because I wanted to play StarCraft 1. And this is like 1996 when the game came out. I had the game for a whole year, looking at the box, beautiful graphics, like every day. Like it's like a beautiful box. You open, like it was like thick, but like one cardboard layer came up, and like you could see, like, oh man, this game's so awesome. And like I just look at it like every day for like a year, and I got so tired of it. I was like, I'm gonna try to fix this thing. Oh no, because we finally got Windows 95. Because it had to have Windows 95, I think, to play it, or Windows 97 or 98. I don't remember actually. It might have been Windows 98 maybe. But either way, once we got the operating system that it would work, then I tried to install it, and that took a year to get, and then it still didn't work because my CD-ROM drive was only a 1x speed. And I don't even know what they're at now, but like at the time, there was already 40x out. Put it that way, So I went, well, I'm gonna take apart this thing, and I went and bought a 40x. Had my mom take me to Best Buy, and I came back and I bought it, put it in, and then it still didn't work. And then I learned, oh, there's such thing as video RAM. RAM and video RAM. So it's like then I ended up not being able to play for like another year until we got a new computer. So I had to wait so much to play for that game, and just looking at the beautiful box.
Did you ever have the CD caddy?
I have to see what that looks like.
Oh, like multiple. You got multiple CD drives. Yeah.
Oh, CD.
Just like the old school like CD players, you can like rotate like 10 different CDs on the big ones. You're like a home DJ almost without the vinyls and the turntables.
Well, my dad had something that holds 400 CDs. Music CDs though, not games. This is not like a computer. Yeah, he had that thing, and he had two of them, like
just
70s and 80s.
Just for storage, or to be able to rotate?
Well, to rotate.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's done stuff in storage. He had over 1,000 CDs because he didn't fit them all in there. Yeah, because each one would hold 400, and then he had a program. It was a lot of work actually, because he had a program each. Because I don't think it would like nowadays they'd probably just like read it. Well, I mean they don't even use CD. Like they'd have the technology to do that now to read like what it is. You know what I mean? But like he had I think had a hand label everything. Maybe he did it though. I don't know. Either way, it's like a lot of time.
I'd be like building my own computer has like been on like my list of like new hobbies, because I consider myself a hobbyist. I love really like jumping into things and learning new things. And building my own computer has been on that list for a minute.
Oh, it's real fun to do that.
Yeah,
gotta do that.
As savvy as I think I am technologically, I promise you,
it's a lot easier than it sounds. It's
just
A
to
B, B to C.
Yeah, you just buy all the components and just stick them into the. Yeah.
Things joke, but it's real. I think it's harder to actually like build shit from IKEA than it is to build a computer.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, everything I've read.
Yeah.
Suck at carpentry.
Is because the directions come in Norwegian. Is
it
a Norwegian company? Did I get it right?
Norwegian company? What?
Yeah, IKEA. Is it Norwegian?
Oh, I have no idea.
Wait, you're from Norway? Oh, IKEA? I can look that up.
But like a computer, okay, what do you need? You need a tower to put all this stuff in. You need a power supply.
You need some lights. The lights are the most important part, I think.
No, you don't need that.
Make them glow?
No, I forgot about that. Some people would like swear by it, but motherboard, a CPU, video card, and RAM. What did I miss? You need a monitor?
Software.
Well, yeah, then you get software, sure, but I mean, like, far as the hardware goes,
Oh,
like you need a mouse keyboard.
SSD drive.
Yeah,
It's
you need
really
yeah,
not
I don't
that
have a hard
bad.
drive here.
That
So
shit's
you
amazing.
get an SSD drive now. Like, there's no reason. Never get the other one.
Don't
It's
use
just-
it as storage though. Use it to start up your operating system.
Power component, like
Definitely
a
use that.
power.
Yeah, power supply.
Power supply. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 things. It's really not that much. 7, 8 things right here.
So, anywho, as these guys figure this out and solve this mystical problem,
It's like 8 parts, dude.
I'm with it. Okay, you two. When was the first time you two built your computers? Like your first computers?
Well, the first one I built was when I was 17, because I finally got a job, and once I got $800, I went and bought a computer. Well, I bought all the parts for a computer. It was about $850 build.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was really good. And then like me and my friend just built it together, and that was like my first time doing it. And I was like, oh wow, like building it from scratch. Like I said, I had some experience like taking it apart, just messing around or whatever. But like this is like all new stuff, putting it together. And yeah, I mean you do it in like an hour or something like that. It doesn't take that long.
It is really fun though. You could just see, and plus there's so much colorful one like graphics cards and like motherboards. Like you could just put your own like creative boost on it. That's what I love about building a desktop. It's just you build with your personal creativity, and it's more or less like when I built my first computer, it was a water cooled desktop. Like the motherboard was water cooled, the RAM modules was water cooled,
Wow.
and the CPU and the graphics card. And I was able to overclock, which is another fun thing to do when it comes to building your own personalized computer and experience.
Oh my gosh.
Overclocking, and it's so fun because you're playing around with all these settings, and you have a safety boot that like prevents you from breaking your power supply, and it's like that. And get the Asus motherboards; they're really
Oh, I
good
love
with
Asus.
with the BIOS, the best thing.
What's overclocking?
Overclocking is when like for example, if a preset GPU or CPU is set at a specific frequency, such as like an i7, like it's well known that the processor will run at least 4.7 gigahertz or more, and they're highly reliable with the 4 to 8 cores. And basically, the gigahertz would just you're able to amp it up by adding more voltage to like the little tiny pins on the bottom of the CPU to make it run quicker, more efficient. And but of course, it's going to heat up your CPU and damage it as well. It's not going to last as long. The CPU will just like instead of a 5-year, it's going to last for a year or 2.
So it's fun in the sense of like you're testing how far you can take this machine that you just built,
Precisely.
just without breaking it.
He
Yeah.
liquid cooled
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's like control because
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
like it's like if you're gunning everyone in your car, but if you're able to like cool down the engine,
Right.
he's like keeping everything cool so he can run at that high power. Like that's super sick. Like in like real quick, like in speakers, they have something called REM, right? Where it's like I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like or maybe it's RMS. It's like the consistent like how loud can I have the speaker before it gets blown out? So it's kind of like what like the gigahertz. Like
Right.
you have the stable number, but it's like okay, you could go above that certain percentages. Like you could do 1%, but you could do maybe 10, maybe 15. I don't really know. He could tell you, but yeah, but that's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
What about the first
That
time
sounds
putting the
liquid cool.
CPU? Okay, think back your first time putting that CPU on the main board, and then you got to put the fan on it, and you're so nervous. Did you do it right? Did you do it wrong? Because once that bitch is covered, it's
You
sealed.
don't
There's
wanna
no
mess that
takesy
up,
backsies. There's no takesy backsies.
Yeah, doing like that cement seal or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Oh, the thermal paste.
Yep.
Ooh, I hate that stuff. They have a nice
yeah.
metal one. There's a new one that's made from a graphite metal.
Yeah.
So you just like stick it on there, and yeah. there's some new
But you
things.
could take it off though. You don't want to though. You better do it right away.
I forgot who.
I
this,
think one time I might have had to adjust it. I don't remember though.
There's this YouTube channel I used to follow maybe a few years ago. He spent like years working at GameStop and
Linus
It-
Linus Tech Tips.
not Linus Tech Tips. It's like he buys like old consoles and then like he opens them up and he shows you how to fix them and new consoles too. Like with like when it comes
console.
to Game
Like
Boys,
Commodore
Nintendo
64.
Switches, 64s, like cartridges. Like he shows you, and I don't have any of these things, and I would just watch him like explain to me how these things work. And it's like typically it's a lot of like it's tedium, right? A lot of things have a lot of screws. You have to keep a track. You have to keep
Yeah.
track of. You have to put things back in the right place. But yeah, I always found it like super interesting.
Yeah. Like on a MacBook Pro, if you turn upside down, like they have like 8 screws. Now they might have, like at least the one I had, like you have to, like the corner ones are different, even though they almost look like visually they almost look exactly the same. Like you have to like get really close to tell. But it's like, so when you put them out, you have to put them like on a piece of paper that like you don't want every
Right.
screw specific is what I'm getting
Right.
at. Yeah, so you have to like put it all on the paper and like it's all nice. You have to have like a nice space and like you pull off that. And then I was like just changing out a speaker. It's like, oh, you got to take out like all this other stuff just to get to the speaker. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because like everything's like layered, like you know, if we're doing like Photoshop, you got like 100. Imagine having like 100 layers, and it's like, okay, which layer, you know? And then like, but knowing me, like after I did it that way, the second time I did it, I figured out a shortcut. You know, sometimes you could like manipulate things a little bit, but it's risky because like you mess up, then you could break something. Cause
Right.
There's one where like if you could break your wireless LAN cable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want to break that, and then you can't do wireless because there's no LAN port or
Right.
there's no whatever Ethernet port. So
Nobody mentioned Atari. I think that's the only one you guys missed off
no,
that
I
list.
didn't miss
Atari
it. We
before,
had
yeah.
Atari.
Yeah.
My mom gave it away, so I don't really remember playing it.
My aunt had Atari, and I would spend maybe
Sad.
a couple of weeks out of the year maybe with her sometimes.
Ooh, what was your first console?
It was Sega for me.
Mine's a Nintendo. I call it regular Nintendo. That's what we always call it at our house. Because then Super Nintendo came out, so it's like regular Nintendo. And then Game Boy. Maybe
Boy
Super
Color.
Nintendo. I don't know which one came first, Game Boy or Super Nintendo, but I definitely had Game Boy.
It was
Road Runner.
Sega Game Boy for me.
You didn't have regular Nintendo?
No, I did. That's the first thing I had.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, we called it regular Nintendo. Is that what you called it too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some
The
people
regular
call it Nintendo, but it's like,
Nintendo.
no, it's not Super Nintendo. It's regular Nintendo.
It's just the straight up Nintendo. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the regular
We call it
basic.
regular Nintendo.
The 2-button A or B, that's
Nintendo
it.
and Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. Yeah.
Damn right.
GameCube.
Yeah, I didn't have an N64
Wii.
though. My cousins did.
Did you guys ever play on the Commodore 64?
Mm-mm.
No, my uncle had one. He left it at our house like when I was an adult. He's like, I'm gonna sell this thing. He's like, just hold it for me. So he sold it.
So the Commodore 64s had direct connection to other computers. If you left your Commodore 64 on and plugged it into a phone, you could basically set up like a message board. And so my father, for whatever dumb reason, decided to leave a Commodore 64 with the internet hooked up and then showed me how to connect to this other guy's computer, and we would play Risk. I kid you not, it would take a month or two for 8 people. And so once a day, you would call, I kid you not, you would call this computer, and then it would, it was all there's browser, and then there's, god damn, this shit was terrible.
Did it like sound like a fax machine every time someone made a move?
You had to type in what you were gonna do, and then it would make a math calculation, and then use that calculation to tell whether you won or lost that attack. And then you could keep attacking or whatever. You could complete your whole turn. But your whole turn sometimes would take a goddamn hour. It was ridiculous. And then the next guy would have to call into this computer and do the same thing and so sometimes you would call in and be like, fuck, it's not my turn. Just disconnect.
Right, and then you get your update, right? Like if
No, there was no updates.
no, what I mean by the update, it's like was the computer's always live sort of thing. Like you're logging into it, then it's like, okay, now
well, the
here's where you're at
computer's
now.
always live, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you got attacked, you got this or whatever.
Right, because the computer was literally set up just
Oh,
to
so
run
it's
this
always
game.
on the internet.
No. It was always able to receive calls. There wasn't the internet didn't.
It
Yeah,
wasn't like a
the
live
Commodore
feed,
64 and the internet, that was a weird. It wasn't really there yet, but you could call another computer and make like a 4K, not even 56K, like a 5K connection, and like just type to it. Yeah, that's all it
And
was.
if you can hear stories of the older guys, like my dad, like, oh yeah, they're gonna give us 4 megabyte of RAM. We never need any more than that. It's like insane amount of RAM.
Mhm.
And it's like, dude, yeah.
Dude, like one Christmas, I think I was like 15 or 16, and like this is like I think it was right before the iPods became popular. It's like MP3 players are starting to blow up, so there was like this Sony 1 gigabyte MP3 player, and it was like $79. And I said, Mom, I said, this it's Sony, it's 1 gigabyte, it's at this store. I'm like, it's walking distance from our apartment, Mom.
Oh,
Get me this MP3 player. She goes, I got you. Fucking
really? Wow.
come Christmas, she gets me this 64 Megabyte.
No.
Dude, like fucking off-brand whatever, and she paid $120 for it from like some jewelry store, like a block away from. She's. I love you, mom. I love you. It was an honest mistake. She listens to this. And I was like, Mom, I could not fit the whole G Unit's Beg for Mercy album on it. I was like 2 tracks short from a full album. It was
64 to that's terrible.
That's
sad.
It got me to and from.
If you convert it to MP3, you're talking even 5 megabytes of a song. That's still like 11,
10 songs
songs.
top.
I didn't get a whole album.
Yeah.
This is back when the albums used to be over an hour. You know.
Back when an album
have an
actually
album.
told a damn story.
It's like you're paying $120 to put a $10 album on there.
Dude,
You're better off having the portable CD player. Remember how they had the CD players that had like the skip? It's like, well, like it would save.
The
like
skip
45
protection
seconds.
was the best.
Yeah, the skip
Yo,
protection. It would
oh,
save
man.
45 seconds.
So just
Junior
the
high
underground
biking to school,
Pokemon
that was the
market,
best.
I used to have
The best.
a stolen CD player market. This is back when the
Yeah.
CD players were.
You
were
fucking guy.
$120 a pop. I used to have a locker in my homeroom with stolen textbooks if you needed a textbook. I had Pokemon cards. I had CD players. I'm like, what did you want? I get a few. And CD players were like the hot topic. They were like what is it called? Skipless or sound
Anti-skip, maybe. I don't know.
anti-skip?
Anti-skip,
right?
yeah, that's what it
Where you can
was.
put it in your pocket and actually walk. You didn't have to
Yeah.
like have a gyroscopic hand.
Yeah, that was a huge.
Man, I saved up
technology.
for months because I was biking to school. In 8th grade, that you use CDs, right? Or at
Yeah.
least for me, that was still the era. Shut up, Vlad. You don't even fucking know. Shut up. You don't understand. And so, man, I saved up for months doing so many stupid things just to get the one that doesn't skip so you could go. And no skipping the whole way there. Oh, you thought you
Yeah.
were the badass. Easily the best.
I'll tell you a story about like I was convincing my mom. I was like 10 years old. I was this game called Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like,
Oh,
Mom,
that
you
one.
have to buy me this game. And she said, well, it's $70. I was like, look, this is my Christmas present. Okay, well, it's my birthday. This is shopping for my birthday.
Cashing in,
I was
right?
like, this is my birthday present, and my birthday's September, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna cash in on Christmas too. I don't want no clothes. I don't want nothing. Just give me this game. That's all I want. That's all I want. And I just like was like begging her basically to get it, and then she ended up buying it for me. But I had to beg her. Like she was like not about to get it to me. But luckily I was right there, so she got the right game. Cause she's like, oh, game's a game. Maybe.
Dude, that's
You know?
crazy that they were $70 back then too. They just jumped up from $60 to $70 recently. Like which like the
this,
like
this
my-
would have been
like,
in
PlayStation
1996.
Right, like and $70 was crazy.
A
amount
lot of
back
money.
then.
That's what my mom was like, kind of like
Yeah.
she didn't want to really buy it. I was like, yeah, she didn't want to buy it. Really.
It's I mean you spend so much time on it. I guess it's worth the
Yeah.
price point, right?
I mean, I did the whole puppy eyes, everything, every trick in the book. I did it. You know what I mean?
Except for
Ex-
stealing
except-
the wallet.
Well, except for stealing.
Except for
though.
stealing
I was
the
still
wallet.
integrity.
Well, that's
I
the
didn't
only
steal
trick you did it for.
I didn't steal nothing. And I also did it like I also didn't be like, oh, I'm gonna do dishes for a month or something like that. You know, I didn't try to like. I just said, look, I just assumed I get a Christmas present. And I think I knew that the whole Santa issue. So I was like, yeah,
The whole Santa.
yeah, I just need this one game. Santa doesn't need to bring me nothing. I just need this one game.
The origins of my thievery should be, I'm gonna save it for a later date. I mean, I don't. I had a deep internal battle about the morals of it, right? And
Yeah.
it only lasted a short amount of time.
Get it out of your system while you're young, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you do all that shitty stuff younger, usually you don't want to do it when you're older? Question mark.
Bro,
Not only steal from corporations.
Yeah, only you corporations. Only you corporations that are all owned by the same people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sharing Netflix accounts or passwords.
Hell yeah, you gotta share them. I share a lot of them. It's okay. We don't talk about that though.
Dude,
Nobody heard nothing.
Did you guys ever play RuneScape?
not really, no. I heard of it, but I didn't play it.
Wait, did you play
got into
RuneScape?
I used to play RuneScape. I used to play like hours a day for a long time, and that's why and that's why I don't want to play Skyrim, because I know I'm gonna love it so much, and I will put 30-40 hours in 1 week on it if I were to have that game.
Oh, you'd
It's
be
like
great
I
to
know
play
that, that's why
EverQuest
it's
with.
the same reason why I don't do meth, right? Because I know I'm gonna enjoy it and want more of it, and I don't think it'll be good for me.
Yeah, some things you never want to do. That's
Right.
true.
Damn. You were so close. You could have played EverQuest, but you just didn't have a PC for it.
Oh, I know. I would have played EverQuest if I got into it. I just got into other
Oh,
games.
I'll just say it. Screw it. The rich kid played EverQuest. The poor kids played RuneScape.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't play
because
RuneScape.
RuneScape was free.
Well, RuneScape was free and it was browser play.
Yeah.
Yeah, where EverQuest was a monthly subscription and you had to continuously buy a new expansion pack every 6 months. So not only were you paying $10 a month, but then you were paying another $40 for the expansion pack every 6 months.
The geekiest.
Yeah, I would have went for that.
The geekiest game that I
I
ever
would have
played
been mad.
was so when I was 14. That's when like I guess like personal computers started to become really affordable, and that's when my household got one.
Oh,
I had both parents, my mom and my stepfather were working, so doing pretty decently well at the time. And so I started playing like all the Yahoo games, and I got so good at Yahoo Pool, where like I ended up joining a league in Yahoo Pool.
I remember that game though.
Dude, it was, and then so like it's like I joined the league within the first 2 days. I want to say like 45, 50 people in my league. I became top 3 players in Yahoo Pool, and within that league anyway.
I beat you in that tournament. No, I'm kidding. I wish.
So,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
and it was like how I, and it's also how it was weird. It's how I developed my social skills, because I would play like these randos online and like ASL, like age, sex, location.
Oh
And
yeah.
so we get into like these like conversations, and then I was like, sometimes I want to pretend to be other people. I kind of catfishing people, right? So I would pretend like I was like going. I was like 17, 16. I would pretend like I was in college, right, getting my master's in psychology to become a sex therapist, and I got all these people to admit like these weird things to me online. I was just like, it was really
Interesting time on the internet.
jumping into like the human mind. Right, I got to learn a lot about people just by like being anonymous on there.
I was in AOL chat rooms at 10 years old in 1996. And, ASL. I'm trying to think what I put for my location, but it was 10M. 10-year-old Mel, bro.
You actually told your real age?
Well, no, I mean,
Oh,
this time,
you didn't know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
tell
fuck
all
yeah,
the
I
time,
did.
bro. I did the real name and I lied.
I was a
don't really lie
fucking
too much.
troll, bro. I used to make people upset online. I used to like.
Well, you were already old enough. See, I was 10. I was actually 10, so I'm like innocent. Like I'm not like trying to like fool nobody. At 10 years old, I wasn't doing that kind of stuff. Maybe if I was 14, yeah, I would have been more of a troll.
Oh yeah.
But like AOL chat rooms were like already not even a thing at that point.
Right. That's amazing.
Or maybe they still were there, but I don't know. I like definitely did not go on them. I was definitely rather just playing games. But I just wondered, did I put CA? Like thinking I was so cool, like CA from California.
Damn, I
it
got a
Carlos
really,
Canada?
really good one. You guys want a good story time?
Yes, and zoom in on your face. Yes.
What are you talking about? So hold on. Take another bite. Take another bite to eat. Take another bite to eat.
Oh, you've been zooming on.
Come
him while
on,
he's
take
taking
a fucking
bite?
yeah. Every time he takes a bite.
Hey, let me.
No.
Come on, take a bite to eat.
No. No.
Take a fucking bite, bud.
That's for the private after party. Like you gotta like.
Do.
Anyway,
Story time.
Holy shit, Vlad! Stop attacking that hot pocket like
he
that.
ate it in one bite. We used to like actually
That's
joke. We're
disgusting, bro.
This is what I like.
What the fuck?
Oh,
This is
I'm
like
out of
guy
my desk.
stuff where it's like, hey, bro, can you eat that in 2 bites?
All
I
right.
bet you can.
Yeah.
All right, fun story.
That's too bad.
One bite.
Okay, hilarious story. Hilarious. Family, if you're watching, yo, tell my mother this shit's fun. It's super funny. Maybe not. So I was 16 playing this game, EverQuest. I've been playing since 1999. So let's not do the math on it. But I was 16, a guild leader, played a shit ton. Like, there's a lot and a lot. And so, I don't know what got into me, but I didn't even ask my mom because, I don't know, it's just normal for us to have sleepovers or people over for the weekend or whatever. I did it all the time. Yo, I literally had this buddy from Ohio come out for the weekend, and we never told my mom that we flew his ass out from Ohio. We just met from the internet, and he stayed over all weekend to the point my mom's like, yo, who the fuck is this kid? Like, what? I keep hearing you guys talk about all these, and this is not what you're talking about all your other, like, what do you and we never told her. Never told her.
The lingo
on the-
was too specialized. Yeah,
Right,
the
and on
jargon.
the scarier note, and I look back now and I wouldn't have done it. We also invited over this other guy who's like I don't know, like mid-20s, so maybe young 30s. But because we all played the video game together, we had this guy bring over his computer. And he played video games with us, and then went home. I never touched my pee-pee, which is thank God.
I know that's good, like, because the internet, we would do sketchy stuff like that. Like, I sent out my address to like someone that I thought was 10, a little 11-year-old girl, and I was 10.
Oh.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, we.
No, and she
I
sent a
don't know,
picture.
we
I sent a
just-
picture, and I think she was from like
Whoops,
East Coast.
sorry. Yeah, you never really think about that shit.
But I mean,
though.
I was
Like,
literally
I don't
10.
know,
Like,
we were
the
just,
internet
but
wasn't like too like it is
it wasn't.
now. Yeah,
it was different.
Holy
It was
shit!
different.
Somebody I met
different.
playing Yahoo Pool,
Different.
Darcy, right? Still my online friend till this day.
That's cool.
14 years old. So we've never met, and every once in a while we check in on each other.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would still, if I had the information, I still would talk to them. Some of those people that I met.
Did you ICQ? Oh, thank you. I still
I-
remember my number 17223392.
Nice.
17223392. ICQ, yeah. Yep, that was my ICQ number.
Yeah, I didn't really mess with ICQ. I had AIM.
I did
I was an
AIM.
AIM kid.
Like, I didn't need ICQ. Yeah, it's
AOL.
just, it depends on like what
Yep.
system how you had.
I got AOL at 12. I know because my password was I am 12.
That's funny.
No, seriously.
No, I believe it. My
I used that shit for a really long time.
Yeah.
Because it was IAM12. And it was, back in the day, that's all you needed.
Yeah.
You needed like one letter, one number, super easy. I
Yeah,
didn't
you only
even
need,
need
like, now
that.
you gotta have 8 and all this.
Mm.
That's funny. Yeah, passwords, man. And
Well,
you had to
so-
memorize your passwords back then. Like,
It
all
is
of them.
about that time. Anyone want to give some final nerdy thoughts before we switch over to
I think we gotta build a
weed
PC.
prohibition?
We gotta build a PC.
We
I wanna
should
build a
fucking
PC.
build. We should build.
I think like I kind of want. If I do, I would bring it here. We could freaking build that thing together. It'd be so fun.
That'd be nice. That could be fun.
You know.
Put it on camera, build a PC.
I want lights.
Lights.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, we do need some lights.
Lights.
We do need some lights around here.
Well, the lights
everybody-
is like the way last thing on the list. If you
I
do
know,
lights.
I know.
You gotta
I'm
do
such
the
a
liquid. If you do a
sucker.
liquid cooling system before all that, you gotta have a extra RAM if you need it. I go max RAM.
I do like
Everything.
a custom one if you like.
Oh,
Custom water loop. Not the Corsair
Hey guys.
pre-made water cooler. No, we're gonna build a custom pipe dynamic thing going on with like 3 different colors.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
That'd be cool. A giant fucking radiator.
I love it.
That's crazy that they even cool down RAM now.
Yeah. With a little bracket.
Well, before these nerds keep on going, that's the DTLV Good Buddies. So we're gonna take 2 minutes. We're just gonna mute the microphones. I'll let you guys watch all the BS in the background, and we'll be back on in literally 2 minutes, everybody, to talk about weed. So that's Scott. That's Vlad. That's Will. I'm the Mad Hatter. I'm Mad Hatter. We'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes, or some of them won't. But I'm curious to see how this next one goes. Weed prohibition.
Peace out.
Is this even really a thing? I guess we'll see in a minute. What up, everybody? It's just me for a second. I mean, why not, right? Why not? Why not? Hi, everybody. Hi, yo, well, you're all here, though. Well, you're all... Oh, man, I'm way over there. Fuck, let me move over. Let me center myself out. Whee! There we go. Hi, everybody. Hi. Can you guys still hear them in the background? Oh, my gosh. Yo, how are you? Sup, Jackie Chan? Yo, hi. Let's see where we're at. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Oh, hi. Then let's see the other chat. Cool. Yeah. So I don't know. This isn't my topic or picking. So I'm going in with just a bunch of questions. We'll be talking about marijuana next. Our next segment is more of our stoner conversation talk. So very, very curious to see how that's gonna go. Super duper curious, not gonna lie. So stick around. But while you're here, listen, while you're here, if you want to slide on over to that YouTube and press the like button, we are live right now on YouTube. Yo, come on. I need a couple more likes over there. Somebody go to my goddamn YouTube and press the like on this live thing. Please, thank you, or just stay in there and chat, whatever, or here. I really don't care where you stay in chat. You're good wherever you're chatting. I'm pretty happy about that. Hey, you guys welcome to set up. Get on in there, big boy. I'm ready when you're ready. I'm ready when you're ready. Yep, you're good. Okay. Yeah. What? What jacket? Oh, it's hanging up in the bathroom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That shit's hanging up. Yeah, yeah. I know. It was beautiful there, right? You're like, oh, I need a hang. I was like, oh, look at this. I just happen to have just one. Look at me. Bo chat. Yo, thank you, Letter Fan. Yo, thank you, Letter Fan. It's like, that's what's up. Letter Fan did it. Everybody needs to be like a Letter Fan. Everybody be more like Letter Fan. Just press that goddamn like button everywhere. Smash. What? How do the kids say it? Get over there and smash the goddamn likes. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Oh, do not know. Yeah, you got 2 minutes. What do you mean? Why wouldn't you have 2 minutes? Yeah, don't fall in, right? Just don't fall in. I don't know. Ice cream truck. Beep beep. Who wants ice cream? Beep beep. Beep beep. All right, all right, all right, all right. Jesus Christ. Jesus criminy. Okay, well, look, it's just me. Yo, I got a whole damn place. Hey. Oh, look at that shit. It's just me. Took over the whole thing. It's about goddamn time. All right. Well, so let's take off. Will's not on the next one. Vlad, you're on the next one, right? Yeah. And then so we got Moo. Well, where can we put his name? Hold on. Gotta put that there. Put that there. And then we need Vinny. Let's see. Got the no, I guess he's not. Sorry, I'm just setting it up for the next one because you're getting people coming on in. Yeah, so we got Vinny and Vladimir on the next one. Okay. Okay. Oh wow, look at that overly sized writing. Look at that overly sized writing. Hold on, let me try again. Got a red panda spread? Oh yeah, spread my red panda. Hey Wendy. Oh yeah, spread all of my goddamn panda. You won't. You fucking won't. You'll talk about it. You'll think you were going to, but then you never did. But then what happened? Then you didn't. Why didn't you? Oh no. I don't know. Well, fuck it. I don't know what we did with his we lost his Instagram. Oh well, it'll be fine. He's just gonna be Vinny today. I put him in the information thing on the YouTube. So good enough. Good enough. Anybody really wants to find him. If you really want to find him, you'll find him. Good morning. Like good morning. Wait, is it morning? It's like 9:30. It's like 9:30. Yeah. Are you guys gonna are you guys doing this? Hello? Hello? I don't know, man. They were supposed to be on by now. This is only supposed to be me talking for 1 minute. I'll prepare stuff next time. No. Wait, stay forever. Stay forever. Stop it. No, stop it. Don't you try and leave. No. No. Are you guys ready? Hello? Hello? Are you gonna hello? Hello? So I'm not the only one rambling here. It's like I'm out of content. You two are amazing. Thank you so much. Hasta luego. Hasta luego. All right. Well, let's let's here. Watch these dorks setting up. Look at these dorks setting up. Look at these guys. Oh my lanterns. Oh my lanterns. Look at them go. Oh my god. Oh my. I'm just watching them. Look at the concern on his face. Is this not adorable? By the way, you guys' mics are turned off. Don't worry, they can't hear you. They can't hear me. I'm just kind of watching you guys get all set up and do your thing. And this is hilarious, by the way. This is hilarious. Excuse me. Keep your shirt on, young man. Keep your shirt on. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that shit right here. Okay. Yo, I did that to Scott. I don't know if you noticed, but I went over and I jumped and I was like, and then I moved back really quick. I was like, I got away with it. No, you didn't see me. I'm like, yeah, I got away with that shit. I totally did, though. I'm not even mad about it. Oh yeah, there you go. Strip down off the camera. There you. Oh Jesus, that's a very colorful shirt. Yes it is. Yes it is. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Well, everybody, I'd like to introduce you to the one, the only Vinny, and welcome back the one, the only, Vladdy.
What up?
Whoa. We don't get to get that crazy on the mic. It sounds just good. So, Vinny, would you like to introduce what the hell is about to be talking about here? Because I don't know nothing about this.
All right, following up the nerdy shit conversation that you guys were having a little bit earlier, I figured we'd go along the nerd shit type thing.
Are we falling down the nerd pattern too?
Yeah, we're gonna go down the nerd pattern too and kind of do like a little history lesson on the prohibition of cannabis.
Is this a thing?
Oh yeah.
Do you believe him?
We're gonna be talking about amazing aspects about cannabis in general, the medical benefits when it comes along with some of these products that were marketed. So yeah, gonorrhea.
Wait, what?
Gonorrhea. Yeah.
That's from cannabis?
Yeah, it was a powdered extract of cannabis indica by the WMS Merrill Company in Cincinnati, USA. It was to treat gonorrhea.
What he said.
So they've literally used marijuana to treat gonorrhea?
The raccoon is blocking me. Move it over there. The red panda. There you go.
Holy shit. To treat... Oh, do we need... Oh, here, hold on. We can do a center. There you go. Put it up in the middle there.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that, guys. Unbelievable.
Okay, so now how did this work?
So, like,
Don't look at me. I'm
this...
just holding.
I'm not sure how this treatment worked, but they were working off of the antimicrobial properties or antibacterial properties of cannabis to try and help reduce the effects of STDs.
And so you just wipe it on your genitals?
Yeah.
I mean, this says it's a powdered extract. Maybe you mix it in
Oh.
with like a little bit of essential oils or some water or something to make a paste, and you like.
A little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay, I like it.
You know.
Maybe it's a little garnish on the hot dog or something. I don't know.
Little garnish on the hot dog? You're not even real life right now.
A little bit of paprika.
You're not even fucking real life right now.
But yeah, so you got to go back like 100 years or so before the prohibition of cannabis started, and cannabis was actually an ingredient in many different types of medications for.
Wait. Hold on. So what are we showing up here? What are these?
So this one is a fluid extract of cannabis that was used as a sedative. This ivy leaf cures corns for if you got like corns on your feet, I believe.
So
Bunions.
this cured corns on the feet?
And it was also useful topical for external psoriasis, eczema.
And these all
bunions,
worked and they're
corns.
marijuana based.
Yeah, they're marijuana. I mean, we can't really know exactly how effective they were because they, when they made cannabis illegal, they banned all research on its uses.
Oh.
Okay, so I heard you talking about that earlier. What did you mean? So we weren't even able to look it up? Isn't that like freedom of speech? What happened there?
So, 100 years ago, cannabis was used in medicines, and everyone knew and loved their cannabis products. Around the 1930s, 1920s, so especially after the revolution of 1910 down in Mexico,
Okay.
and there was a bunch of Mexican immigrants coming to America. Around that time, that's when a bunch of organizations that had political and economical interests to keep the hemp production out of play, pharmaceutical for the medicines.
So did pharmaceutical company try and keep them out, push them out?
So
Big Pharma said, I don't want to do this?
Big Pharma, timber industry didn't want people using hemp fibers to make paper, even though Thomas Jefferson wrote several rough drafts of the Declaration of Independence on hemp paper.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he did. He also has a quote where he says that some of his finest hours were spent on his back Verona smoking hemp and seeing as far as his eye could see. Yeah, so
That's beautiful. I did not know that.
actual quote.
So he was a stoner. He was a nerdy
you used
stoner.
to be able to pay your taxes in hemp.
Oh.
With hemp.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Well,
George Washington
that's money.
grew hemp at Mount Vernon,
Literally.
I believe. Yeah, he grew hemp. I believe it was at Mount Vernon. Yeah, fact check it real quick for me. But yeah, so timber industry didn't want to. Anybody who has hemp clothing knows that hemp fibers are way more durable than cotton fibers. So the cotton industry didn't want hemp clothing around. So yeah, and then,
Yep, you were right.
Same
George
thing.
Washington grew hemp in Mount Vernon. Thomas Jefferson grew hemp on his Virginia plantation. And James Madison also grew hemp on his Virginia plantation. And then Franklin D. Roosevelt launched hemp for victory during World War II. There was a campaign to encourage farmers to grow hemp for use in the war effort. Hemp was needed for the production of rope, canvas, and other materials.
So with all of the industrial
Oh.
and medicinal uses of cannabis, both hemp and the cannabis that gets you high, all these industries teamed up together because they couldn't produce a better product than the hemp, so they made hemp illegal so that way they didn't have to compete with it. It's kind of like when Pepsi bought Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC. That's why we see all the combination places all around.
Oh yeah.
Pepsi bought these fast food restaurants because they couldn't compete with Coca-Cola, so they bought the fast food restaurant to serve Pepsi in. So that's what these industries did. They couldn't make a better product than cannabis could, so they made cannabis illegal, and then they also made it so that way you couldn't research cannabis and prove them wrong. They said that there was no benefits to it whatsoever and made it illegal.
Wow.
And then they made it illegal to research it and find benefits.
Like same thing with car manufacturers. There is a special hemp polymer that is so durable that if it gets impacted by any sort of thing, it is able to readjust itself with proper.
You mean why Henry Ford made some of the initial Model A's with hemp panels?
Perhaps I haven't read about that, but
Or how he had
I can see that.
hemp ethanol as a fuel
Oh.
to run vehicles?
even fuel guys, can you believe that?
I
Yeah.
mean, but the plastic industry and the oil industry, they
Metal.
didn't want those alternative fuel sources around, so they made that illegal too.
Oh man.
Well, so
Prohibition.
I'm looking it up right now. That was a lot to read over. There was the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 that imposed a tax on all the sale of cannabis, including the hemp, which made it wasn't possible for it to grow because the tax was just too high. So they didn't say it was illegal. They just said, we're going to tax you so much that you can't afford to grow it.
And you had to bring the hemp to the government building to get the tax stamp for it, but it was illegal to transport without the stamp. So therefore, to get the stamp, you had to break the law, and then you were. So that's how they made it illegal.
Yeah, they knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Then, 1970, they classified all forms of cannabis, including hemp, as a Schedule 1 drug. Had no idea. They just recently got rid of that in
medical
2014.
benefits. That's what Schedule 1 means. No medical benefits whatsoever.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't until 2014 that was proved otherwise.
Yep, and a lot of it was Israeli
It's so
researchers.
recently, then.
A lot of the research is done in Israel because America made it so that way you couldn't do any research whatsoever. But there is... So, a lot of these quack science extracts and tinctures and stuff,
Let's start saying that.
they're finding now that a lot of these benefits that they were treating stuff with actually holds true, but then some of the stuff is also just quack science.
I mean, everything could be argued as quack science, I
Is
suppose.
quack science a word? Quack?
I think it's an old time saying.
No
Before your time.
way.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm
that
gonna start
usually
saying that
happens.
now. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Oh, look
mean-
at that. So I had to just look up something random. The first medical marijuana clinic was opened in San Francisco, California in 1991. Oh.
Wow.
It was created only for individuals that had HIV or cancer. Huh. What a fun way to start getting in out, though.
Yeah, and part of that was because of the anti-nausea
Do what?
effects.
Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Already foul. Sorry. Yeah, it was open until 1998. It did 7 years. Not bad.
Yeah, and a lot of the benefits were attributed to the anti-nausea effects of it to counteract the nausea from the chemotherapy and stuff from the cancer treatments and appetite stimulation, sedation,
And you guys saw
pain
me
relief.
eat. I don't eat as much, and weed helps. I shit you not.
Wait,
But,
weed helps?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Got the
going
munchies.
into the 1930s when they did the marijuana tax law and then eventually started to put out propaganda to change the public view of it. A lot of the news articles on cannabis pre-1900 were about the medical benefits and stuff. And then a lot of the post-1900, like around the 1930s, articles on it were referencing like those Mexican immigrants and how they were bringing this Mexican loco weed and how it made them deranged and violent and superhuman strength, and they just really played up the racism of people's view to demify and demonize marijuana, which they started
Marijuana.
referring to it as marijuana because that was a more Hispanic sounding term, and they wanted to get people to associate it.
Hey. No.
Lay it. He doesn't
No.
like that.
Ass.
That was the door
No.
where you booped him on the nose.
I'll
Uh,
boop you
but-
back. When you're not ready, I'll put it right in your ear and be like,
Oh shit, your tongue is long in that
Yeah.
little...
Whoa. That's only what she said.
Damn.
Oh, Jesus. I'm fucking. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Fuck that guy.
But yeah, they just really played on the racism of people. So prior.
So wait. So
prior-
you're saying marijuana is so? Are
They
you saying
used
when
to
I say
have-
marijuana instead of hemp, I'm being racist?
Maybe. A little
What?
bit, yeah.
What?
Wait.
So
what?
They also
Wait,
used to
what?
have cannabis lounges that were also jazz lounges, and they used that as a negative too because of the.
Why you got to throw a jazz line as a negative? I like jazz lines.
I
got
like
nice
jazz
music.
too. I got a cousin.
I got a cousin. I don't like where this is going. Yo, when you guys just fart? You just ripped ass.
My dad's cousin. So I got a cousin. He's a really well known jazz musician.
Someone clip that
in the
replay.
Chicago area.
I want someone to clip that on the YouTube. Yo, clip this very moment, and someone like listen for that squeak. Yo, this little fucker just farted on the broadcast. These mics hear all of that. Little Jesus Christ, man, guys, literally fucking ripping ass. I'm like, come on, man, come on. Someone was taking naps there, man. Someone's nap over there. Jesus. Did you clip it? Did you clip it?
I don't know. That sounded like
That
a
wasn't
trumpet
me.
there for a second.
That wasn't me.
I heard the trumpet go. I heard the.
It was a jazz trumpet.
I heard it.
It was jazz
Bro, I heard it.
trombone.
That was not me.
All right, so I looked it up. There's so many different ways. Yo, you can use the hemp for textiles, papers, building materials, biofuels. Hemp seeds can be used to make biodiesel.
Hemp
What?
resins can make anything that's plastic.
Food and supplements. Yo, hemp.
Batteries.
Turns out hemp seeds are a really good, rich source of protein, fiber, and healthy fats.
Essential
They can
oils,
even be eaten raw. Yo,
amino
hemp
acids.
seeds can be eaten raw or roasted, just like you do with pumpkin seeds. You can add it to smoothies or make hemp milk. Jesus Christ. And then you can use it for cosmetic care?
Yep.
Oh, no shit.
No,
That's
hell,
what
they-
Lotion,
they got the hemp
shampoos,
lotions
lip
and
balm.
stuff, yeah.
Moisturizing my butthole? Not
I mean,
bad,
whatever you
man.
want to do with it.
Not
Whatever
too
needs
bad.
to be moisturized, it can moisturize it.
Yeah.
So if it's biofuels, then could it make a lighter? Could you just turn that bitch into fire?
Yeah.
Obviously, right? Yeah.
You can run farm equipment on hemp biofuel.
Hempcrete.
Yep,
Hempcrete.
yep, that's a building material
Hilarious.
that is flame resistant, pest resistant. I think there's a laundry
thank you.
list of things that's like really beneficial about it.
The point is, if everybody just smokes weed, we wouldn't have wars.
Are you sure?
Well, and we could chop down a heck of a lot less trees in the rainforest by switching to hemp paper and yeah.
Hemp. Wait, so now to this day, is there hemp fields? Why aren't people making it any? Is there still a really high tax?
I mean, they kind of put those roadblocks in the way of building any sort of or having any sort of industrial farming of hemp, which doesn't even have the psychoactive THC in it. It's literally just industrial hemp, and so I don't know why we don't have fields, especially since what is it, photosynthesis, where the CO2 gets converted into breathable oxygen. Cannabis plants have one of the highest rates of that photosynthesis of the air we breathe. So if we had fields of industrial hemp benefiting all of these other industrial purposes for it, we'd also be having fields filtering and cleaning our air as well.
That's true. And we could utilize it and create compost, I would say, right? Like compost to even allow other plants to grow. You know, I mean, there's so much factors that we could utilize this plant. It's just amazing. And of course, we're seeing it being demonized because people aren't making money.
I think people are slowly waking up to the tactics that were used to create this era of prohibition, and I don't know the exact number of states that have legalized versus medicinalized, but I think we might be able to get a fact check on that here, maybe.
On what?
How many states have ended their state's prohibition on cannabis versus the national level? I think we're at, was it just above 50% of
All
the
I can
states?
tell you is I was about to move to Texas for a job, and the reason I didn't move to Texas because it's legal. There's other reasons too, but like, yeah.
I don't know. I can't find it. Looks like a lot though. Can't find that one though. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I think it's like 30.
Well, CBD is legal in 47 out of 50 states, so there you go.
Oh my god, CBD. Oh.
But yeah, like I feel like that we in our lifetime, will see the federal end to the prohibition of cannabis.
As it should.
Just like our parents in their lifetime saw, or maybe our grandparents saw, the end of prohibition of alcohol.
That's smart. Did you guys hear that?
Wait, what?
Same thing with
You
gas
know,
and lithium.
our grandparents, great grandparents. I'm bad at math when I'm high, but they saw the end of the alcohol prohibition, and then soon after the end of the alcohol prohibition, they started the cannabis prohibition, and it's definitely lasting a heck of a lot longer. But I think in our lifetimes we will see the end of that.
Good.
I mean, or it can get reversed really quick. I mean, look at Roe vs. Wade. Just because it's going in the right direction, it just takes a couple old people to decide that, you know what, they're gonna be like, nah.
These hipsters are too happy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, these hipsters getting too damn crazy, getting all willy-nilly in their pot, smoking them silly gooses.
Well,
Mhm.
maybe we should touch base a little bit on reasons why we should maybe consider the end of prohibition on cannabis, and maybe touch base on like K2 and spice and
Delta 8.
and yeah, the synthetic alternatives and just
Can we talk about how bullshit it is that they're selling Delta 8 on downtown Fremont Experience?
yeah. So
And-
the
oh,
prohibition of cannabis,
Pisses me
this
off.
all natural organic plant that has all these medicinal benefits and all these industrial benefits. With that being outlawed, it has pushed people to the underground market or alternative legal options such as that K2 spice, the sprays that you can spray on, the stuff that's sold as potpourri, but it gives you a synthetic high. And
Well,
these kids that are having these adverse reactions to these chemicals
And
that
then they demonize weed.
that
even
have
though
yeah.
it's not
okay,
even
but what
weed's
is
fault.
wrong with complete? Okay, so I feel like the thing is that the laws aren't strict enough. So you either got to allow it or you really got to tighten up. And so what I mean by that, and I had to look it up, the United Arab Emirates, they have some of the strictest goddamn laws in the world about this stuff. Which, by the way, is amazing because then they have no drug. Like their drug use is about down to none. I mean, none. It's wild, but the punishment is so damn heavy. It's not even worth. It's not even worth fucking with. It's not. It's not. And so if you get a whole society on that and educated enough to not need the crutch, not need the drug, not need to spend all this free time at home getting high and playing video games. I heard them dorks playing all the video games. And yeah, I'm the same way. And to be fair, had I stayed sober the whole time, man, it'd been a lot harder to stay. Well, that's not true. I played video games sober for a long time. But yeah, man, I feel like if the thing is that I definitely didn't even start smoking marijuana until I was 25, and even at 25, I just dabbled. I wouldn't say I did it very hard. I didn't even know what I was missing out on, right? Because I didn't try it. And the thing is, I'd have been just fine without it. They even say your brain develops better without that shit. Your brain is like changed forever once you do it, especially as a child. You start smoking as a little human being, damn,
But
you're stoned for life.
what about the children who have epileptic seizures and narcolepsy or whatever it is, and these cannabis treatments are having them be seizure free for?
Well, so
Yeah,
again,
videos
I
like
think
that.
some of that goes down to, and I'll pick on the chemo one because I found this most interesting. Is so there's, I want to say it was 120 different types of chemo, but America only gives you 2 or 3 different types. They don't actually take the time, and so our healthcare system has become some of the worst. It's just failing us. There's really good alternatives here and there, but all that red tape, and you hit it spot on. The money. Of course they got rid of the hemp for the money. The thing is, these other countries are like, you know what? Screw that shit. And damn, they're making us look really, really bad. And I stand by that with a big thought of, most people, chemo works, but just because it's one of the big 2, that's bullshit. Sometimes you got to try and get tested versus all 120 of them. But that costs money. And then even once you get it tested, it's not even legal in the States.
So, as far as cancer treatments go, too, there is an extract oil called Rick Simpson oil. That's worth looking into if you ever have skin cancers for topical, or it's an oil that you can take, and they basically extract all of the medical benefits from the cannabis plant to make this oil. And like Rick Simpson claims that the quantities of this oil that he created cured him of his skin cancer. Cured him of his skin cancer.
Interesting.
And they arrested him for claiming that it cured his skin cancer, even though there was no evidence of skin cancer on him.
Yeah, I'm reading it. I mean, this guy definitely seems to have a lot of benefits, and it is pretty much like you described. It's just all, I don't know, they call it RS over CBD oil, I guess, right? The
RSO
Rick
is
Simpson oil.
Yep.
Interesting shit, man. Interesting.
So yeah, it'd be cool to get society to the point where they don't need intoxicating crutches to get through life. But if this is a wholesome, organic, all natural cure-all, like something that hey, I'm feeling a little wonky today, I'm going to take a little bit of my Rick Simpson oil today.
Oh, Rick Simpson oil. Jesus, I couldn't imagine saying somebody's name like that. Like, oh my god.
Maybe he's Homer J. Simpson's cousin or something. I don't know.
I feel like I'm getting Rick rolled here, bud. I feel like I'm getting Rick rolled here. I'm just saying. I'm just,
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah.
Bring you up.
I mean, I guess Rick Simpson could Rick roll you by saying they'll never let you down.
Okay, so this is.
I get where you're coming from. With a society without crutches would be ideal. But
So how do we grow it as just hemp and not like? I mean, I guess cat's already out of the box here. America's already doomed to fuck. That's why they're not really number one anymore in anything except for having nukes. Yeah, we are number one in that side, Russian man. We got more nukes than you. La 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 la. See, now I lost my train of thought. Thanks. And we're live, and I lost my train of thought. Jesus, crying. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Jesus, you little.
What happened? What did I do?
I don't know. What didn't you do?
Did Vinny's fart break the mic?
Well, I mean, a good thing you didn't like light it. You know, if you had a lighter, you could have just, get a little light.
light the lighter and see.
No.
First
Okay,
to
so
the
back to
flame.
it. Got my train of thought back. Got back to my train of thought. Okay, so how do you make just the hemp legal so that we can grow it, use it for all these awesome things? Like biodiesel sounds great, but then how do we make sure no one starts smoking the dope?
I mean,
Or can you smoke the dope as they're growing the hemp? Isn't that the same thing?
First we'd probably put some sort of restrictions on political lobbying.
Oh,
That
Look
might
you
help.
dead in the eye.
oh.
Oh, but we don't need to talk too much about
Well,
that.
how do we start politically lobbying? I mean, are we going to go down there? Do we go down to Washington? How do you even become a lobbyist?
Oh.
Do you just like grab somebody and be like, "Ron, I'm gonna throw money at you now"? Like, how do I get hurt by these?
Yeah, you have to represent somebody with enough money to be thrown at a politician to sway, and then you have to have enough money to sway their opinion.
Are you telling me that all of our elected officials are getting bribed?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why do you think we have a casino even though... Why do you think we
Yeah.
build a
There's-
casino when we have a water problem?
one of
Oh, yeah.
two things is almost for certain: either they're getting bribed into their decisions, or they're getting death threats to make their decisions. It's one of the two.
That could be
I can see why most of them choose the money over the death threats.
Yeah, I'm so stupid. I mean, I get the whole death threat thing. I don't. I guess. I mean, that just seems like I feel like there's better ways to get stuff done
Then
than death
abstaining
threat.
someone.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's
I
stupid.
mean, what?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what?
I'm not repeating myself.
Vladimir, do you want to tell a weed story?
Yeah.
Of course.
Story time.
Oh, wait.
We are live here in Las Vegas, bringing you the news for the news.
Not in the nude.
I don't know. So, back in New York, I used to make some really good brownies, and my secret was I left the weed in the crock pot for 3 to 4 days, and
The crock pot. How'd you get that
Are
idea?
you admitting to illegal
no, I didn't sell my brownies. I gave them away because I feel as though that we don't have enough love in this world that sharing a bit of happiness goes a long way. So that being said,
half of drug arrests in the United States today are for possession,
well,
not selling.
well, that's their problem. I just like my brownies because
Okay.
I wanted to go on a plane and fall asleep and not have to worry about being 50 bajillion sky miles in the air. You know, I just want to pass out and then, you know.
So you
and-
joined a different Mile High Club.
Yes. Oh, let me write that down.
Oh.
So
Oh.
the point is,
The Flying High Club.
my little brownies, I just gave them to my friends and hung out, and they loved it. They loved it. And people were like, "Yo, let me just give you money for this." I'm like, "No, I don't want that. I wanna actually hang out and like vibe with you, you know, and like here's some chocolate milk to go with that brownie that I made.
Oh.
You know,
Ooh.
just like
Brownie and the milk?
yeah, it was so good. Like I got it down to the science. I think I said it like on a previous video, but I got like the buttering technique down to the science, utilizing the crock pot and like the stems and the weeds, and you just crush it, put it in the oven a little bit for 400, but not too long in the oven. Take it out, give it a little shuffle, put it in the crock pot, put the oil, butter, whatever. Give it 3 to 4 days, and then you make the brownies or cakes and stuff. And that's what I like to do. I like to bake, but like bake with a little purpose, you know. Just
Baked goods.
You like to get baked while you bake?
Yeah.
You
hey,
make
I
the
see what you did
baked
there.
goods.
It's fun. It's fun, and honestly, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? It's like I can't be a drug dealer. I can never do it. I'm just like I love people. I love smoking people out. You know, I get an ounce of weed. I'm like, you know what? I could sell this and quadruple my money, but instead I'm just gonna smoke out the homies because honestly, that's what weed should be all about, man. Just sharing love and putting people together.
Hey, Kev.
Gosh,
Hey,
darn
Alexis.
it. And that's my spiel in New York is like that weed brownie really just
That was
connected a
his
lot of people.
spiel, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. That was his spiel.
Golf clap.
Oh.
Can you clap with your cartoon thing?
What?
Can you clap with the cartoon thing?
Don't you mock me on
Okay,
what
I'm
I
sorry,
can do.
sorry,
No.
sorry.
Listen, my hands up here. I'll be sorry to do it. No, I don't gotta take that shit.
Can those hands even reach?
No.
You're clapping the wrong cheeks, Vinny.
Excuse me. Oh, Jesus. I move over here now. Fuck you both. Yeah, fuck you both. Oh, yeah, that's what you get. Camera technical difficulties. Assholes. I think that's every time you get a message or something.
I have
Probably.
not do not disturb.
Oh, well. It's disturbing. Yeah.
Oh man.
I got jokes.
Oh, you.
Yeah? Tell a joke.
Not that kind. Wait, what? I didn't mean it like that, you asshole.
Well,
Wait, what? I don't have any jokes. I just kidding.
For every podcast you do, just have like a new hat on. Just like I know it's probably an asset you have to buy, but like just have like a pink hat or like a cowboy hat or one of those little fez hats. I don't know what they're about, you know.
Is this the point where we're all so high we just ramble on?
It just happens. I'm sorry, guys.
Yo, okay, here's one made from the internet. Why did Vinny from Las Vegas refuse to smoke weed with his friends?
What? Doesn't sound like Vinny.
When have I ever refused to smoke weed with my friends?
Because he didn't want to risk rolling the dice on getting too high.
Was that supposed to be a joke? Did somebody say that in the chat?
I mean,
What?
usually it's everyone else tapping out early.
Yeah, no, Vinny is a big roster, man. He rolls like King Kong fingers, bro. Like I'm like Vinny, chill. Like
Okay. Why did Vinny start smoking weed in Vegas?
Oh.
Because he heard it was a great way to take his high stakes game to the next level.
Okay, that's a good one. That one makes sense because I don't know. I'm not good at gambling.
These are so damn bad. Do we want to add anything else to Prohibition here, gentlemen?
I mean, do you want to talk more about how they used racism to smear campaign it?
Okay. Oh no.
Or-
Okay. So yeah, let's get back into that one. Okay. So I'll do that, and then we can end it there. Okay. So I think bullshit. I think that's a media propaganda thing, and there was the media for the left, and there's the media from the right, and so you just found one of the sides. This whole weed is racism. Bullshit. Weed is for everybody. We already listed off presidents that did it, and so what? So did we just buy into somebody else's side and not our own side, the left or the right side?
Why are you looking at me?
Well, I think the lobbyists used the racism and stuff to shift the perspective of it, because once like cannabis was made like prohibited, people were upset that all those medicines that they were so used to and loved, like they even had pre-rolled joints that were it was an asthma treatment.
Oh, that's right.
So like all these people were upset that their cannabis was now gone after they made marijuana illegal. So they stopped using the proper formal name of cannabis and just shifted the public perspective of the plant.
So is marijuana, where did the name come from?
Marijuana was they switched calling it cannabis to marijuana to play off of its Mexicanness. That's what like the so it says here that anti-cannabis factions wanted to underscore the drug's Mexicanness. It was meant to play off anti-immigrant sentiments. So after the revolution of 1910, when there was a lot of Hispanic immigrants coming to America, much like they're doing now with trying to pass border security laws and stuff, using Mexican immigrants now as the reason to heighten this. They used the Mexican immigrants of that time as a means of introducing the bad marijuana, and so that way people weren't thinking that it was cannabis. They're like, oh, this is something different. This is the loco weed that makes them violent and superhuman strength and killing cops and stuff. Like there was news articles all over about.
Because it was a foreign. Because it was a foreign and exotic threat.
Yes.
So it was
they
marijuana.
were fear mongering the marijuana, and then also they weren't just using the Hispanics and the African Americans with the jazz clubs that were also smoking lounges for cannabis. In California, when there was a big increase in Hindu immigrants, they had a demand for cannabis indica, also known as hash. They were hash smokers for medicinal and I think maybe even religious purposes. And so Californians used the prejudice and racism towards the Hindus, the Mexicans, and the African Americans to change the public opinion of marijuana, which many of these people who then were against marijuana did not realize that it was the same cannabis medicines that they'd been taking. And
They had no idea what they just got talked into, right?
Yeah. So it was.
And do you think that that's okay? So that's more what I'm saying. Is so do they just take advantage of dumb people? I mean, 1930, the education level of people is way worse. So do they just not know that marijuana and cannabis and hemp were all the same?
Yeah. That's basically what happened is they introduced this new plant, marijuana, that was terrible and bad and had nothing good, and just you know, like I believe it was in the Reefer Madness where like they touched on like made like African Americans want to sleep with white women, and so
For the aphrodisiac.
yeah.
Well, okay, so I mean, I'll say it. I mean, it is what it is. Yo, I get super horned up when I'm on weed brownies. I don't know what it is. Damn, man, I get feisty on weed brownies. I'm just like, rawr. I know, maybe not something you say around a bunch of guys, but
I mean,
it is what it is. It definitely gets you going.
as a red panda, and you know, with them being endangered and not really being good at breeding, does that mean that we should feed them weed brownies?
I mean, if it gets them, more. Gotta do something, man. Gotta get something going in Pound Cheeks. Mm-hmm.
And what is it like red pandas are only able to get pregnant like 3 days out of the year?
That's a lot of. Listen, you better just be doing it every single day, then, man.
Whoever said stoners were dumb has never met me.
That's like a 1% chance. 1% chance to get that day just right.
Yo, it's all fun and games until I buy a red pen and just like put in Matt's house and then close.
I'd be so happy. But those things are little assholes. Red pandas are little assholes, man. I've seen them. They're really mean. Oh, first they're
But
really,
they're so cool.
really, really mean. They're like, okay, they're like the cat. Well, they'll walk up to you, they'll look at you, and then they'll whap. But they actually are big enough to hurt where you're like, oh, fuck, bud. And then they just like, ah ha ha. Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, I'm on this side again. Oh, hi. Oh, bye.
Whoa.
Well, then. That was, I would say this was a really good one. I didn't really realize the whole history behind it. And yeah, I definitely was making fun a little bit or laughing or being like, the fuck are you talking about? And maybe I could have done my homework better and looked this all up before. This was way more fun listening to you rabble about it and then look it up as we go. Felt like I learned a lot more that way,
Yeah, so that's kind of. I felt like like you said, that this went well, and going along with the nerd theme, having it be a history lesson and looking up the.
We got nerd theme today. He nerd themed us, y'all. He straight up nerd themed us.
Hey, nerds like to get high too.
Yeah. It's okay. You just gotta have a nerd penis and you're fine, right?
Going off of the earlier thing though, would cannabis be more of a geek subject though?
Yes.
Yeah.
But with the history side, that could be the nerd side.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends on how much you get. So that goes back to
Because history's academic.
We define the nerd as the someone who's intelligent and school oriented. Well, the geek was someone who's just enthusiastic. So that's the difference.
So it's a little bit of both.
But you're knowledgeable.
History is an academic.
Well, if you're knowledgeable and enthusiastic, you're geeky. Basically, you're okay. So I feel like you are a nerd, but in this case, you're more geeking out. To say you're knowledgeable, you're sharing your knowledge, and you're definitely enthusiastic about it. So yeah, I think you're geeking out right now.
Is that why when you're high they call it geeking out?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh man.
So you guys want to do a closing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it away.
All right.
Oh, good. No, you're closing it. All right. Well, everybody, I'll see y'all next week. We do this every single Tuesday. That's Vinny. I'm the Mad Hatter. We're gonna let Vlad close off this entire night.
All right, guys. Well, we definitely learned a lot today.
Make sure to tell them to favorite us and subscribe.
Be sure to follow and subscribe here.
Don't forget to like it.
Be sure to follow, like, subscribe here at the DTLV Good
And
Buddies.
if you run into Vlad on Fremont Street, touch his butt.
Wow, everybody wants to touch my butt. I know I got a little lump, but the thing is, I drink a lot of milk. I can't help it. And I feel as though that the milk and the coffee that I drink makes my butt so big.
Settles in your cheeks.
I feel that's right. That could be it. Honestly, I think that's how milk works. So as an adult, I would imagine. I would
The
imagine.
best closing to the high segment is a high tangent.
I know.
I think I just kind of tripped you up there. And
You did, because I know by the time I'm gonna be 35, I'm gonna have a thick butt. So yeah, yeah. By all
Don't worry,
means,
it's just milk and coffee.
Jesus
just milking.
Christ.
But yes, guys, we like to have a little fun here. Honestly, and I just want to just say Thank you guys so much for being with us for this long. You know, this has been such an amazing way for us to really just showcase a lot of raw talent, a lot of just like intellect and knowledge of a lot of things in this
And
world.
diverse viewpoints.
Diverse
too.
viewpoints. That's a big one, Vinny. Diverse viewpoints, and just come together and just have that discussion here at the DTLV Good Buddies. I'm Vlad. This is Mad Hatter, and that is Vinny. And sorry, that's Vinny. So
Vin City Stoner on
Vin-
Instagram.
Oh, and see, it's in his name too, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. We're gonna have more episodes coming soon. So yeah, yeah.